guys on front and center. What's going on, guys? Welcome back to another episode of Hostile Therapy. Let me make my screen a little bit smaller. Okay, now we can see each other. This is me back on the show, Big Red, and Assalamu alaikum to LT, Lord Trent, the background.
Man, you just assumed my whole religion. You're gonna get us people by them people already at the beginning. But assalamu alaikum and alaikum.
Okay, I could say this: God is good.
Which God?
Huh?
Which God? And make sure it's not white Jesus.
Make sure it's not white Jesus. All the time, God is good, and God is good.
Not exactly, because they're all times good. But you know what?
That's you gonna mess with the whole damn thing. You can kicked out of church.
I did, and I don't care.
All right, then we got Dr. Lamar coming back here. Hopefully, her personal life is going better with the dating thing. Is she had some issues last time we talked about the personal life. I'm hoping everything is getting fixed and situated in 2023.
It's only been 24 hours.
Damn.
You said it's only been 24 hours.
Well, nothing since we last talked about I had one yesterday. I met him. He he don't have no car. He paying child support. He's 70 years old. I was like, oh no.
What?
Mm-hmm. In the rears.
What? Why are you going after this? Why are you going after a 7-year-old?
He must have weird something.
Oh no, he found me. I wasn't going after him.
You can turn him down.
Man, young, or he feel young. He young at heart. And
not all them clogged arteries in his heart. No, he ain't.
No.
Yeah.
You're right. I wasn't going. I told him. No.
Here's what we're gonna do. We're not gonna do it this week, but the next time you're on, we're gonna set up not a GoFundMe, but GoFundMe. We're gonna set it up for you because we're gonna find somebody suitable for Dr. Lamar because this ain't it. These 7-year-olds with missing teeth and legs and financial issues, we can't do it no more. We got to find you somebody suitable.
Or you can end up like Joan Clayton. Sorry, for the past month, so I've been rewatching Girlfriends. So if Girlfriends references just slide into our conversations throughout the night, understand I'm on season 3, episode 19 of Girlfriends.
I am worried about you.
It's a really great program. Like you have no need to. I honestly, they took it off the air too early. We should have got a final episode.
I wouldn't know. How many seasons did that go in? Did it go 5?
8 of them things.
They had 8 seasons?
Yeah, it was a monumental show. Honestly, we wouldn't have the game if it wasn't for Girlfriends. Shout out to Kelsey Grammer.
Damn. That's right. He did produce that.
Yeah. Black History Month. Girlfriend.
Yeah, it's the second day of Black History Month. We'll get on that next week. But okay.
We'll get on that next week.
New year, new stuff we're going to talk about this year. And we're going to hit us up with the new topic for today. This one is, who should you trust more? Your spouse, your husband or wife, or your friends? And what I mean by that is, it could be many things. Who you trust more with your secrets, who you trust more with your life, who you trust more, I guess, to talk about life problems with. Who do you trust talking to more? Your friends, or who should you trust more? Your friends or your spouse, which some people even say your spouse is your friend too, depending on who you ask. So we'll jump off the topic with that. And Dr. Lamar, we'll let you jump off the topic. First, tell us what you think. If you were married, who do you think you should trust more with all these things I laid out? Your friends, like maybe your best friend, or your husband?
Oh my God, that's a loaded question. Because I ain't good in that relationship department. I was married, but he ran his mouth, and I don't trust women like that. So that's oh my God, that's a bad question for me.
That's why I put should on there. You know, if it was in a vacuum in a perfect world.
In a perfect world, yes.
Right.
I would hope you trust your husband because he's supposed to be the head.
Mm-hmm.
I would think so, right? I mean, because I look at like your female friends or any like your friends, they always say keep your sometimes you gotta keep your friends close to you because you just don't know. Women, I think, a little different, and I know women might cuss me out about it, but sometimes we tend to be a little emotional, and we could get triggered.
Right.
So, I don't know. I would rather trust my husband more. I in the perfect world, you're right. I would trust my husband.
Okay. All right. LT, the Rubik's Cube on there. This is a difficult question. You got the Rubik's Cube up, trying to.
Oh yeah, it's my thinking thing now.
Right. What do you think on that? Do you think you should trust your mate, your wife? Let's say wife, not girlfriend, but your wife, or your boys, your own boys, your best friend?
Let's see. I mean, I guess take it with a grain of salt. Every relationship is different. Everything should be measured in shades of gray because nothing is in black and white anymore. If you were Joan Clayton, you could probably trust Tony Childs a little bit more than you could trust Ellis or Sean, the recovering sex addict. I've been watching the show and it's really deep. It's about 4 women from different walks of life. William Dent is the realest man. Anyway, in a perfect world, you would want to be able to trust your spouse, your significant other, especially if this is a person you've pledged your life to in front of your family, their family. And if you have shared income, or not shared income, but shared finances, you share a last name, you're sharing a home, you're cohabitating. Yes, but the person you're spending the most time with, you should be able to divulge the most about yourself to. They should know the most about you. Like when you have my last name, when you're my significant other, I'm 30 years old. So at this point, the woman I'm with now is the woman I'm going to marry. You are my emergency contact. When something happens to me, they call you before the people that I literally came out of. So I should be able to talk to you about everything, because if something is going down with me, I want you to be able to know, and vice versa. I don't just require this of myself. We should definitely, and I think the reason we ask this question a lot is because we also don't know if we're to be trusted on a certain level. You know what I'm saying? We can't hold whatever. We like drama. We like talking about shit. We like talking shit. You know what I mean? So it should always be your significant other. It's just we're dealing in a time where our others aren't too significant. Bars.
Okay. All right. And I like the jacket you got on too, by the way, too. I'm feeling that.
It's cold outside. It's finally weather appropriate.
All right. But you showing the knees in the background though. Oh,
and he's showing those eyes.
Now he got something that's gonna keep him warm in his hand. I got you.
Yeah. He's showing those eyes too. Wow, 2023.
You know what I'm saying? They be out here. I got lipid pools of chocolate. That's what they call it.
I'm sorry I'm late, everybody.
Nah, you good. You good. We were just asking the question, who should you trust more? Your spouse, meaning your husband or wife in some instances, but your husband or your friends with your life, with secrets, your innermost secrets. When you have conversation about life problems, who should you go to and trust more?
What did you guys say?
Wait a second. I haven't spoke yet, but Dr. Lamar and LT said your spouse.
Your spouse. Okay. Oh, you doing a countdown for me?
No. We're just going right now.
I mean, yeah, your spouse. But what if you have a best friend that was in your life way before your spouse? I mean,
it happens.
I mean, true friends now, because we got fake friends out there. But I'm talking about a real, true friend that knows things that you have done in the past, and that's you shouldn't put nobody before your spouse, though. That's for sure. So I could go with spouse.
You go with spouse. It sounds like you were going the other way with that.
It did. I thought it was gonna be friends.
Yeah, Precy messed me up because she's
Because
right.
I mean, we're talking about true friends. We're talking about a true friend. Like
Friends.
you guys are so close, and you were friends way before. I mean, somebody that was in your bridal party, like somebody that was very tight with you, that knows things, and you guys just have this great bond. Well, they know so much about you.
Right.
They're your emergency contact. Like, I don't know.
See,
I don't know.
You're right. You know what? I'm thinking about it. I'm sorry. Go ahead.
It's tough. Like, because when you're in trouble with your husband or your wife, who you gonna go to? You normally run to that best friend. Girl, let me tell you what this mother effer did. So, and I don't know. It's
see, therein lies the issue there.
That's deep.
I think there lies the issue with that right there. See, I think you're supposed to trust your spouse the most. And I'll say why. Well, if you're getting married and you're having this person as your wife or husband, whichever, they're supposed to be your protector.
Right.
On both sides. The male has his role where he protects you, and the wife also has her role that she protects you in. They have different traits in how they do it. Where I see the issue lying in, if you do have a problem and you do go to tell your friends, what ends up happening is, and this is human nature, you usually are going to tell what he did wrong instead of what you did wrong. And the best friend is going to have a memory bank each time you keep coming to them. And they're going to remember all these bad things. And then when it comes to the boiling point, when you're ready to leave, they're going to remember all these things you told them in the past, and they're going to push you out the door easier than making you stay. Instead of you going and talking to him, which this is the issue where you're supposed to find somebody that you're able to talk to easily. You're able to have open conversations with. This is where discernment comes with when you're finding a mate. You should be able to talk to your husband openly about anything. It shouldn't be a closed conversation every time there's an issue with each other. If that's the case, then there needs to be some counseling or
no, I agree with that.
else. But that's where a problem comes when you go and talk to your friends or even your parents. Your parents are always going to remember. They're always going to look at you with a good light.
Never. Oh my God.
No, I get that, but if you have a decent friend, because you can't call everybody a friend now. Right. What I mean by that is that person who's going to tell you, hey, you're wrong. You're wrong for that. One thing, I have two really great friends. And when they are wrong, I tell them, you're wrong. You shouldn't have did that. You were out of line. That's a true friend. I'm not going to side with you knowing that you did this guy wrong. I'm going to tell you, you shouldn't have did that to him. You were out of line, and you owe him an apology. So that's what I mean by a true friend. Not somebody, oh, girl, you should do this. Oh, no, F him. No, I'm talking about somebody that said, listen, you guys need to talk. You need to go to therapy. Those are true friends. Not someone that says, oh, he cheated. Well, you should go cheat too. No.
Right. I get that.
That's not a true friend. You need somebody to give you something positive, nothing negative, because you already got negative going all over the place. So you need somebody to say, hey, you guys need to get therapy. You need to go get help. And no, two wrongs don't make a right. So sis, don't do that because you're only throwing wood into the fire. Yeah, that's a friend.
It's still typical though, and it's just human nature that you won't tell everything. You might tell some details of what you did, but you're gonna go and tell most of what he did. That's That's just human nature. Most
Yeah,
people.
that's the nature of people.
Yeah, well, his
everyone
way,
wants to
your
make
way, and
themselves
the
look
right
like
way.
they were more rational than the other person.
Right. And when you got the husband front and center and he see what you did and you see what he did, then you have nothing but truth is going to come out. So that's why it's pertinent that you two guys talk it out.
Oh yeah,
At
I
least
agree to
first.
that.
I would say if nothing happens, if that y'all can't come to any sort of agreement after a few arguments or whatever, and it just come to a head, then you go to your friends, then you go to your parents, whatever.
Right.
But I don't think you should ever first go to your friend. And as far as your secrets and stuff, you should be able to trust your husband. Your husband should be a comforting zone
Yes.
that you should go to.
I
And
agree.
if he's not, then that's the wrong person.
Yeah, because imagine, boom, flip side. You go to your significant other to talk about your friend. Do you have the kind of significant other that's going to tell you, hey, that doesn't sound like she's being a good friend? Or do you have the kind of significant other that is going to bring these things up when he's around that friend? Like, do you have the kind of significant other that you can trust to talk to about your friends? Because our friends are just as much, or our relationships with our friends and our family are just as important as the ones with the people we lay down and have sex with, because they're also people we allow into our immediate environment, into our immediate cipher. So we have to be wary of the energies that we're allowing in. And a good significant other is going to tell you, that doesn't sound like a friend, or that friend is using you, or that friend is bad to their significant other, and I'm worried that might rub off on you. And that can be a male or female thing. So we have to trust, we have to go through a better analysis, a better process of screening the people that we call our significant others, that we put all of our trust in. Because let's be honest, all of us have been in a situation where we've trusted a friend too much, or we've trusted a significant other too much, and we've all learned from the consequences of both those circumstances. It's like,
I agree. We should go to our mates to talk.
Yeah.
We should go to the mates. I mean, don't get me wrong. You're gonna talk to your girlfriends here and there, or whatever, or your guy friends. But you should confront your mate first with anything.
Right.
Especially if it's pertaining both for you guys. And Dr. Lamar, you know, you a relationship therapist. You know definitely, right, that we should go to our, you agree, right, that we should go to our mates, right?
I do agree. And you know what? This is the thing with my friend and I, right? She tell me I'm always agreeing with her husband. And the reason why she says that is because the things she complains about are nothing. Like, he'll have his like pants on the floor next to the hamper. Girl, like, there's some people out there that's really going through some serious issues.
Right.
That ain't no issue.
Right.
You know, like, that's not an issue.
Right.
So she said, you always agreeing with him. I said, no, it's not about me agreeing with him. Like, he doesn't do anything. When I say do anything, he's very respectful. You know, I mean, I'm not going to say he's perfect, but he's damn near up there, you know, and I look at him as like a brother, right? But I always had a rule with my friends. I never dated, like, my friends' family, their friends, and I definitely wouldn't date like any of my female boyfriends, husband, even if they talk to him. Like, I always had that rule. So my friends, they always trusted me around them men, because I wouldn't even look at them like that. I look at them like brothers and stuff. But again, like, I tell him, like, girl, the stuff you complain about ain't no complaint. Like, like you sound crazy. So yeah, but I would definitely say that. But again, I think it depends on who the parents are, your friends, and who your mate is. And I'm not trying to be salty or nothing like that, but like, if I had a problem with my ex-husband, he would call my father and they'd be text messaging back and forth. Like, that was crazy to me. Yeah, like, so I think it just depends, you know, on the situation. But yes, your husband, like, what's the Bible say? You're supposed to cleave to each other or something like that, but they're supposed to be your best friend. Like,
you're supposed to be as one.
Right. Like, I want you to be my rider. Like, I'm supposed to be like, oh my God, that's what she did, or he did. You know, I want to. We're one. Yeah,
it makes sense. Yeah.
Like,
is there some like percentage rule that how many complaints you say about your husband versus how many good things you say about your husband? I think you should at least say at least 80% good things about your husband
That's very
versus the other way.
If there's 80% to
You need to be 8 from 10 from the field goal. That's how
Right.
things,
You're right.
Things start fading away after so many.
This is it's nagging if it's the majority. If it's 60-40, you're saying stuff bad about him. That's just nagging.
Yeah.
Right. But you know, you're right. But you know what the bottom line is? I don't really think you should complain about your man to your females. Like, I just never did that, right?
Especially if you're not going to leave them, because at a certain point, it looks like you're just complaining to complain. Like, because again, if you're going to shit on the person you're with incessantly, it's kind of weird to still be with them then. Like,
right.
What
like
are you getting out of, like, kind of just, and this is for men too. Like, if this woman does nothing for you, if she's like so manipulative, if she's controlling this, that, and the third, like, if a woman is so much of a headache and you want your friend, like, oh no, y'all don't get it, it's her, why are you still entertaining her?
Right.
I think it's fine when people been together for like 30 years, 35 years. They start doing that. They start complaining, you know. I think it's later on.
See, that kind of complaining, I understand. You know, y'all been together a long time, so it's like, but there's a love to it, you know what I'm saying? Or I mean, I guess I'm looking at it through, like, because my parents have been together for like 40 years, so
that's nice.
I mean, not happily. I'm not gonna. I mean, happily, because they've never divorced, but they've definitely argued. Like, but they've also had a good amount of separation. Like my dad, I'm an Army brat, so we moved around a lot. My dad would work in different places, so there's a good amount of separation. So they're not, you know what I'm saying? Of course, if you spend 30 years, 40 years, 50 years under the same roof in the same 4, 5, 6 walls with someone every day,
it's hard to get excited.
It's you're gonna go stir. You're kind of. I feel like you slowly attack each other every day until one of you dies. But passively,
usually it's the guy. But yeah, statistically, it's the guy first.
It's because our diet. We say our diet stress from the world, shit. But that's neither here nor there.
Yeah, like I don't know. I mean, you know, like I said, that's a tough one because, again, like my friends, like she don't even really. The little complaint, she ain't even no complaint. Like they're like best friends, you know. So she don't really complain. And one thing about me, I don't take sides. I never say, you know, you need to leave him or her. Like that's not my place, because if something happens and they come back to you and say, well, you told me to leave, I'm not doing all of that. You know, y'all gonna have to work it out, because guess what? You sleep with that person. I don't. I'm only getting the side that you're telling me.
Right. And that's why usually they go to their friends. It's like preaching to the choir and like, hey, can I get an amen?
Because you know you're going to get
amen in return.
You're already going to be more on your side because they're your friend. They have more loyalty and allegiance to you. So you expect them to. You're going to them because whereas they're a third party, they can be quote unquote objective. If they, just like you're going through, if you disagree with your friend, they're going to feel like, why are you disagreeing with me? It's like, well, why are you talking to me if you weren't prepared for me to have an independent response other than what you wanted me to have? You went to me because you wanted me to have a particular response because I'm your friend. That's bullshit.
And they might get mad at you for disagreeing.
Yeah, you're right.
Friend, I'm an honest friend. You on some bullshit.
Right. Like, so one of my friends, right, like, so she married my cousin. He been gone for 6 days. He decided he coming back home, right? But they've been together for 14 years.
All right, I'm back.
So she's like, well, he embarrassed me. I said, when did he embarrass you? Y'all been together for 14 years. This is not new. What are you talking about? It's a pattern. This is the way he is. Like, what do you want me to tell you?
Right.
You know, like, you accepted him after you knew that he was like this. You know, and he's my first cousin. I tell her, she's like, I think we should break up. We'll break up because we don't want him back. We're good. You know, because then he becomes my headache. You know, y'all still there, work your way out. You know, but that's what it is. Like, yeah, I'm never gonna tell somebody you need to leave him, because then in my experience, they become your headache. Like, they be calling you like, oh my God, 2, 3 in the morning, you trying to get your own stuff together. Y'all work it out. Y'all fight or whatever.
And it's hard. It's hard. That's why I think a lot of times when you're going through different challenges in a relationship or marriage, you should get therapy, because we're all imperfect. We don't have the answers, and sometimes when you listen, you let somebody else listen to your situation who doesn't know both of you. Things could be settled because you get to talk, express yourself. He gets to express himself, and you try to come to an understanding. Because when you're yelling and screaming, you could be saying good things, or he or she could be saying good things, but you don't hear it because you're yelling and screaming at each other.
Yeah. What remember I said last night on your show last night, Preezy, that most people are gonna go to the path of least resistance, because people would rather, go get surgery on their body than go fix what else is going on with them through therapy. Because therapy is hard, because you got to talk about some deep stuff that could have you crying in front of somebody, crying in front of a total stranger, being the therapist. So people would rather go and talk to their friends and get them to butter them up, or their parents and butter them up, or yell back and forth at their husband, or get a divorce than go to therapy, because that's the path of least resistance.
You're right. And then, you're right, because they'd rather just get a divorce because it's easier. Now you don't have to deal with your problems or blame somebody else. Like, you don't have to deal with your problems. For me, I'm always taking a high road. Like, look, I think I'm the problem. And I'm going to tell you why I'm the problem. I never had to go to therapy because I know my problems. Like, you don't have to tell me my issues. I already know what it is.
Some people even have a problem with that. You taking accountability. Some people have a problem with that. Like,
well, he did.
You just gonna take all the accountability from me?
Yeah, because you know what it was though. I had to, because 20-some years ago, I started charting my life, and I was like, why am I picking the same type of person? Why are they picking me up? Like, I needed to really find out what the issues were. But my issues was, hell, I had daddy issues. Not because he wasn't in my life, because he lived next door. He won't leave. He like a stray cat. He won't leave, but he's just a pain in the butt. He was in the military. He crazy. What? No, my father off the chain.
Nice.
Well, we didn't move or anything like that. What you mean? What's an army brat, really? I mean, people say army brat. Like, we ain't moved. Like, he was just crazy.
He was just crazy.
No, my father's crazy. He crazy. Like, he'll tell you off, and then he'll be wanting to fight for you. Like, what? Okay. I'm confused. He's off the chain, though. But no, he's always been in my life. Always have been. He had issues with his father. So it's that generational trauma. But he's always been in my life. I can't get rid of him. I've been trying. But nope, he did.
You said you can't get rid of him.
I can't.
Why not? Why you can't get rid of him?
Nah, I can't get rid of him. I know you never probably hear people say that, but nah, I cannot get rid of him. I mean, it's so bad that my dog goes over there every day from 8:30 to 9 o'clock, and my dog comes home and he smells just like my father. That's how scary it is. Like, wow. He's there. Yeah, but he crazy. He crazy.
How your dog smells like a person?
What is your dog doing? I'm
He's
afraid to ask. Maybe you shouldn't answer that.
Oh no, because you know how people wear that okay, no, I'm dead. I'm very honest, right? You know how you wear them oils, and you had that oil on for 2-3 weeks. You know how you take a shower and you can't get rid of it. That's what it is. So the dogs ends up smelling like it smells good, but he smells just like him. Yeah.
But you know what?
I was just gonna let it ride. Okay.
Dog, you know, dogs, they sit on your lap. And
no, I know.
Yeah. Okay. No, he's a little dog. He's only like
however dogs is getting raised these days. Hey, okay. I used to work at PetSmart. It's cool.
It's a new day. It's a new day.
I was a cashier for 2 years at PetSmart.
Well, he likes the dog because people don't like him, so that he loves the dog. But he's a little dog. I mean, we got him. He's like 3 pounds.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow. I don't like little dogs. I'll be honest. I don't like little dogs. I don't like them. They get on my nerves. They do too much. They bark too much. They're overcompensating for the fact that they're a little dog.
Yeah, no, he don't bark like that. He don't bark. Okay. He just likes to be on you. Like he
okay, he's self-aware. He know he loves.
Yeah, he knows. but he's scary. He has separation anxiety. Like he's always got to be there.
Oh,
Mhm.
right. Yeah. I have
Yeah.
two dogs like that. Yeah, they don't want to leave you. Yeah.
You know. But that fool crazy. Like my father was in the Army and the Marines. You know he off the chain.
They shouldn't let you do both. They honestly, they shouldn't let you do both. You should never do two branches of the military.
No, and the thing about it was, you remember the Sullivan brothers were all five was in the military deployed at the same time. Well, my grandfathers was like that in World War II. All five was deployed at the same time. And then my father and his brothers, all of them were deployed at the same time. So they all crazy. So yeah, we got 3 generations of crazy.
In some countries they didn't need to be in.
No.
All right, let's get back. Let's get back, y'all.
Oh yeah, I'm sorry, because you know me. I'm sorry. Y'all go ahead.
So, Sparky, did you know what the topic we were just?
Hey, Sparky.
Okay.
Hey, Sparky.
Hey, y'all. No, I didn't hear the topic. I came in on the tail end and heard some of the responses. I'm sorry.
Okay. Well, the topic was basically, who should you trust more with, your secrets, with your life, with who you get advice from, your friends or your spouse? Spouse specifically, not boyfriend or anything. Spouse specifically.
Okay. When
Who should you? Not what's the past happened, but who?
right. You should get it from your spouse. You should get it. I think. Well, I think you should get it from your spouse, but I also think that it depends on what it is about. You know what I'm saying? Like there may be some things that you may want to talk to your girlfriends about and may not want to talk to your spouse about. Some things may be girlfriend worthy. Just like I think within the men community, I think there's things that, men are often be like, they can't tell the women everything so that they don't get the women worried, or they don't this and that. Everything is not for, so I really think that the situation depends. But I think if you were to the point where you have a spouse, like you got a husband, you need to be able to talk to your husband. Like if you can't talk to him, he don't need to be your damn husband, and vice versa. I don't think that you should take that step and literally somebody should be your spouse and you don't feel comfortable talking to that person, or that's not a safe place to talk.
Okay.
So I really think it depends on what it's about.
That's a good point. With
like that.
certain problems that you may want to get a male point of view on. I get that. Okay.
Like if it's things dealing with our house, dealing with our children, stuff like that, of course, that's me and my spouse, and can't nobody come in between that. You know what I'm saying? But if it's, like I said, it could be some girlfriend things. It might be, me getting older and going through menopause. It could be anything. He don't know nothing about that. So I can't, what I'm saying? He can't give me no advice on that. He shouldn't feel some type of way about.
That's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
There's certain things that just can't.
You can't give advice about. Yeah, you might want to talk to your friend first. And it's not that I'm not letting you know that I'm going through menopause, because you already know I keep throwing the covers off at night anyway because I'm having hot sweats. But you know what I'm saying? You still can't give me no advice on it. All you can do is either laugh at me about it or kind of laugh with me and be like, boy, things sure have changed. I remember when
I'm gonna give a good dang. I wish
but
to help.
Yeah, it's one of those. He just looking at you while you sweating. Ain't nothing he can do but feed you. You know what I'm saying?
Is there anything
so in that instance, in that instance, you know what I'm saying? That's something that, I need to talk to one of my girlfriends about. Just like if it's, let's say it's something with his nuts. I don't have those. I can't help him with those.
Right.
I can't talk to him about why his nuts is doing whatever. I can't. I don't have, you know what I'm saying? I don't have no experience in that situation. Like I can try to help him and all. I got sons and everything. But, he may be going through some things that I can't. So I don't have no problem with him going to his friends and talking to his friends about it, because, well, I need you to get help from somebody. And I heard the thing about the therapist.
Just a little pushback on that. You're correct. I'm not saying you're wrong.
Mm-hmm.
It is easier for, I think, women to go to women for female problems. I can't see a friend of mine say, "Hey man, my nuts is doing this strange thing, man. Can you?"
And I took a shower.
You know, I'm glad you told me because I had that same problem.
Yo,
last
man,
week,
I
and
took
what
a shower and I'm still
was-
having this
Look, I got a
problem.
picture of it. You want to see it up close real quick? No, man, don't show me that. No.
So what I did was I took some honey, I put it on a pot for about 5 minutes. Then you know what I'm saying? He can get, no. Men, if you're having that problem, go to the doctor. Only women can.
But that's the
women
thing, though. Men don't go to the doctors, though. Men sit there and wonder about it themselves. They sit there and be trying to figure it out.
They try to
Then
fix
by the
it.
time they try to fix it and figure it out
And
themselves,
you know,
you
the
ain't
only
going to
people
the
that would tell
doctors
us to
both
go to a
sides.
doctor
And
would
I would be more
the
comfortable
woman.
to coming to my wife with that though than I
They
would
said
a
if you
male
put
friend.
this grapefruit juice on it, the swelling will go down.
Oh
You
God.
gotta be warm grapefruit juice because if it's cold, it's going. You know what I'm saying? It's not.
I do understand being comfortable going to your wife about that, and that's why I would say it depends on the situation. Because you might, let's say, you might have a hair bump somewhere. You need pops. You might need. You know how the monkeys be grooming each other. Like, you
And
know
you
what
know,
I'm saying? You
alert
might
her
need that
because
spouse. You know what I'm saying?
a hair
You can't
bump,
see
Right.
it.
a hair bump to the
You know it's
untrained eye can look like a ST dizzle. You know what I'm
it
saying?
could
So
look
you
like
don't
a
want to.
bunch of stuff.
You don't want to alert her and be. It's like, okay, I got this thing that you want to be able to take care of that privately.
Yes.
And maybe, ask your older brother, ask your dad, ask an older family member about, hey, uncle, not weirdo. Have you ever had
Yeah,
this
make
thing
sure
go
it's not
on?
weird,
You got to
uncle.
make sure it's the right uncle too. You gotta,
Right.
Yeah, boy, let me see what you talking about, boy.
Let
That's
me
what's
see.
weird,
I see
right?
what you look.
As you have, let me see that. I mean,
I used to
Yeah,
look at you
boy.
all the time when you were younger.
probably not with you.
But that's weird because everybody I've ever dated always felt comfortable enough to come to me about stuff.
That's
You
what I'm
know,
saying.
it was weird. Like, yeah, they always felt comfortable.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think
They feel
women can do
comfortable
that
coming to
easier.
me.
I think women can go to other women easier than men can. Yeah, we can't.
Yeah, I think you might be right about that. But I think it depends though. I think it depends because I hear some of my male, groups, they seem like they kind of talk. You know what I'm saying? I think maybe I don't know. I think they talk a little bit, but I still, they ain't showing each other nothing though. I don't think. Like
Yeah.
on, where women will be like, girl, look at this. Have you seen?
Right.
I don't think that the dudes ain't doing that. Yeah, I can't see them doing
Yeah.
that.
Now I have like my cousins and stuff like my uncle. Oh, they'll sit there and tell you in a minute. Like the females, you be like, damn, really? Like for real? But you know what? I think we just like our family's just very open. I don't know if it's
Open.
a good thing or bad thing, but we're just open.
Right.
It's not bad, I guess.
You
Yeah,
know,
right.
like
It ain't being done at the dinner table, right? I ain't showing pictures, right?
nah, we ain't seeing nothing. We
Uncle
just
Billy
have
Bob,
conversations.
look at this wood I got on my butt. I ain't doing that.
Nah, they ain't doing that.
Eddie Murphy movie. That's not-
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah, nah, they ain't doing that, but they'll
that's
tell you
not
about
like
it.
what,
I'll tell you. Yeah.
Yeah.
some movie shit.
Wow.
All right, y'all. Let's switch up. Go to a little bit more of a serious topic of Tyree Nichols
Oh God.
with the 5 police officers. And before we go on there, Preezy, your co-host is on. Giggles.
All right, Giggles. She ain't saying nothing. Where
I
she
ain't
at?
there.
She's on mute. I think she's on mute.
Probably.
Y'all can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear
You
you.
ain't in the mirror checking for nothing, are you? You good?
Oh no, I got on my parts. I'm okay. How y'all doing?
We're doing good. We're doing good.
Doing great.
Hey,
All
girl.
right.
Hey,
Yeah.
Dr. Lamar.
Very familiar with her. We were on Listen Up, Listen In last night. Talked about a few issues, and this was one of them. The police beating, the 5 police officers beating on 29-year-old Tyree Nichols. Senseless beating, inhumane beating. Trying to see if I can pull up the story for that right quick. Just take a quick look at this and see what transpired that day, that fateful day. Let's see.
You get your ass blown the off. Damn, I didn't do anything. Hey, I didn't turn your ass around. All right. On the ground. All right. You don't do that, okay? Get on the Get on the ground! I'm fixing to tase your ass! I'm on the ground. Lay down! Lay down! Chest up, chest down! Please tase on the ground! I'm fixing to tase you! Get on the ground! Lay down! One! Now! I'm tasing him! All right, okay. All right.
Wait a minute, that was a white cop. Yeah.
I think it is.
That's what I'm saying. So why he not choking?
Okay.
Okay.
You guys are really doing a lot right now.
I think he's pending investigation.
Oh, really?
Man, if you don't lay down, I am on the ground. Put your stomach.
You talking about the white guy?
Mhm.
Yes. I didn't see this part of the video.
So unnecessary.
Okay, and I think that's the first half of the video. That's before they caught up with him and started. They had him on the ground, kicking him in the head, kicking him in the stomach.
It's crazy. How come that white cop wasn't a part of the lineup? This is the first time I've seen this part of the video.
Right.
The white cop got in trouble too. It just wasn't at the initial. It was like a couple of days later they came out and he got brought into the situation. At first, it was just the first with the 5 black cops, and then about 2 days later, they brought the white cop in, and they brought him in with the charges and stuff too.
Is it safe to say that the white cop was brought in because the stepfather was like, "What happened to the white cop? Why he didn't get charged?" Is it safe to say that because it seemed like that's when he was charged?
Could have been. Very well could have been.
Now,
And,
I don't
go
know
ahead.
if it's true. I'm sorry.
Go
I
ahead.
don't know
No,
if
go
it's
ahead.
true, but a guy just did a statement. He said that Tyree worked at FedEx, and that one's ex baby mother, whatever it is, worked at FedEx too, and said he was dating her, and he had like a thing that he was pissed off about that.
We sure that's true?
No, I don't know if it's true. That's why I said that's what.
Yeah, I saw that in the
heard
meme.
that
I don't
too.
know if that's
I don't know if that's true. The
Right.
bottom line is they shouldn't have been doing that, so it don't matter what the circle. Oh Jesus, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah. Now, if I get cut off, I'll be right back.
Okay.
I heard that part too. I read that in one of the things too about that with the FedEx piece, and that supposedly that after they beat him up, that he sent her a picture of the guy beat up on the ground, supposedly. So that it just, and then there's supposedly one of them got gang affiliations.
Oh,
Yeah.
jeez.
Now, I read the stepfather said a couple of days ago. He said it wasn't true. That's what I heard he said.
Yeah, I
But-
kind of want to say all those stories sound like propaganda made to, because you know what, it's a matter of police brutality, but I feel like they're trying to paint it in a very negative aspect. It just is very stereotypical for black men. Like, even though they're police officers, they still got baby mama drama. They still in gangs and gang affiliated. Like, I'm pretty sure they went through the most extensive background check, like they do for every other police officer before they join the force. I'm pretty sure they would have known if any of these men were in a gang, and all those things. Like, I've seen them. I didn't see them in any particular articles. I've been doing this like social media fast, so I didn't get to see any of the articles. Oh my god! I watched the news. I don't know if y'all know, still comes on. I pay for cable. I'm getting very old.
You poor thing.
Watch the news, the local news. Trying to stay informed. It's weird. It's weird. But yeah, I didn't see any of those come across the screen on any of the channels I saw. So anytime I speak about those stories, I'm gonna speak allegedly. Either way, these motherfuckers crazy. Cause what the fuck? It did look like they was in a gang the way they jumped this nigga. I'm not gonna lie. RIP to this man.
Absolutely.
That's it. It's too much.
That was horrible.
Hey, what did he do?
They did look gang affiliated. I cannot lie about that. I don't want them to be gang affiliated, but the way they beat this man to death was some rolling 60s type shit.
I was thinking that same thing.
Like, get down with sick, cook.
Yeah, look at that pic. Look at that pic there.
Oh my god.
Oh my god.
You see how swollen he looks?
Oh my god.
Yeah, because they literally beat him and beat
Yeah.
him and beat him.
Oh,
And to beat somebody like that, damn near right there in front of their mama house.
That's inhumane.
He was 100 yards or 100 feet or whatever, 100 yards, I think, from his mom's house.
Calling for her
Like
too.
literally, yeah, calling for her. You down basically at the bottom of the stairs, you down on the sidewalk at the stop sign from your mama house, calling for your mama. They beat you in front of your mama house like that. It's just, it's ridiculous.
And there's a later part in the video they're talking about, how hard it was to take him down. Now there's 4 police officers. Now they said that the total of them, 5 police officers, that they weighed more than 1,000 pounds, and this guy only weighed 150 pounds.
He was lanky.
Down on
He
the
was
ground.
skinny as shit.
Suffered from Crohn's disease, from what I understand.
Yeah. I mean, come on, they 200 pounds. It's 8 of them. Remember, it was 3 EMTs. There's 5 cops and 3 EMTs.
Batons, taser. He had just gotten tased, so he was already weak from getting tased, and constant, like, just the amount of fear going through his head, like just being a black man, just knowing that I'm surrounded by police officers. They keep yelling, "Get on the ground," like I'm not already on the fucking ground. You got a taser to the back of his ass cheek. Like the thought going through his head is probably, I'm about to die. I'm about to die. I'm about to die. And they just made the way that one, I feel like the only reason they feel like it took so much because they're out of shape and they had to chase him. That's the only field of athleticism he had them beat in, because there's no way several officers should feel in danger with multiple weapons.
I'm proud of you. Now, how does work? Should I call the school Monday? I mean, tomorrow?
Tomorrow.
Give you a little certificate or something?
Dr. Lamar, you're gonna have to mute yourself.
I got it.
You giving out your social security number.
Oh my God! Don't let her give out her.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Y'all thought I had the phone on mute.
Oh God.
No.
I'm sorry.
Look, yeah, back to what I was saying.
I'm sorry, y'all. I'm gonna put the phone on mute.
Did y'all see the picture before? What he looked like?
Yeah.
Years before, because his mother said he was unrecognizable.
He
I
is.
said his picture
Anybody
before, I
would.
couldn't believe it.
Well, look at it this way. Like what procedure in when they teach these cops, train these officers, what procedure do they say you ever are supposed to punch or kick someone in the head?
Not at all.
You are kicking, punching
That's
somebody,
excessive force.
Yeah.
Excessive force.
They start to follow their own agenda, thinking they could do what they want because they got a gun and a badge.
And how do y'all feel about that? And this is, I talked about that on last night, was that it's our own that did this. Usually when there's police searches or police breakdowns like this, it's a white officer in there taking down a black person. You have 5 police officers who are of African-American heritage that beat down this guy.
They don't love themselves. They hate themselves.
I mean, our own been killing our own. It's just cops down doing it, killing our own. Cops, white or black, they need to go to jail and stay there.
Because what I hate to admit is we kill each other on a daily basis.
Exactly.
Not without the gun, but without the badge. So then you get the badge, you could kill a nigga legally. I hate to say it like that, but there's so much self-hatred within the black community that, a lot of our black officers, they honestly sign up, and not all of them, but there are some that have the whole reason for them getting that gun and the badge is to justify to right some wrong that they suffered through childhood, that they felt alienated from their community, so now they're coming back and they're policing their community, they're dominating their community the way they felt dominated by their community, which is sad. It's not the case for all black cops, but it's just a sad reality when, you know what I'm saying? Because there are the cops that, you want to we always think that we can get into these institutions, infiltrate from within and, affect the change, but there's only so far we can go in institutions that are based solely in white supremacy and the harm of our people.
I agree 100%. It's sad that it comes from your own people, and
this.
And you know what? I just thought about this now. Has anybody heard anything from Black Lives Matter?
Absolutely not.
I just
Black
thought about that.
Black lives scattered.
I ain't heard a damn word from any one of them.
They don't exist now.
Yeah, they don't exist. Those
What happened to Black Lives Matter?
I remember they released.
But it wasn't a
scandal. Or
scandal.
they mission accomplished. They did a George Bush mission accomplished like a year ago or some shit.
Now they're gone.
Wasn't
They
it?
made their money and now they're out. We bought the Black Lives Matter apparel. We showed up and so we hashtag Black Lives Matter. They made the money they were going to make off of it. The black people behind that organization, they did what they were going to do, and they said, "All right."
Even with that organization, you remember where there were certain who's running? I guess Donald Trump when he was running last. Bernie Sanders, when they showed up at Bernie Sanders when he was trying to run for president, you had maybe not the organization, but you had scattered people who had the shirt on that showed up to Bernie Sanders trying to run for president, whatever. They still was people part of the Black Lives Matter movement that were a part of the organization is what I'm trying to say.
Okay,
no one is showing up to this at all. Then does it only matter? Does it not matter because there's 5 black officers that killed a black person? Or is it just police officers, period? They have to be white officers, period.
And you know what? Very good question. It gets super fucking sticky because now those five other black lives are on trial, and we have to decide as a community what happens. Well, you know what? We don't get to decide. It's not like we're a part of the judicial system. Nobody
coming for them.
Yeah, we get to watch the judicial. It's really a win-win for white supremacy. One nigga is dead, and they get to put 5 behind bars.
Yep.
This is how you kill 6 birds with 1 stone. 6 birds with 1 badge.
And I often wonder, and Preezy, you said that last night. Do you think the swift justice is because they are 5 black officers?
Oh, you said that? That was good.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah.
Would it have happened if it was 5 white officers that quick?
They would be suspended.
They would have to put this
So
investigation.
further notice, that's whatever.
You see how long it took for these other white officers to get indicted when they killed these black men?
All right. Because I don't.
I was about to say
going to prison or getting locked up immediately.
And I'm gonna correct myself too, because it says that. Hold on, I just want to be CNN. I'll say where I said it from. About 51 minutes ago, they were saying that the 5 black officers, of course, were fired and charged with second-degree murder. But it says in addition to other police officers have been put on leave. So that must be the white officer was put on leave. He wasn't fired. The Scorpion unit, of course, was disbanded, but 3 Memphis fire department personnel were fired too. So 3 Memphis firefighters got fired for being there basically watching and not doing nothing. And 2 sheriff deputies got put on leave because of it too, but not charged.
Okay. It was put on desk duty. What was the name?
Nah, the one they put on leave, the other put on leave, so they can't work. But usually when they put on leave, they still get paid.
Right.
A lot of times when they get put on leave, they're still paying them. They're just not allowing them to come to work. So now they're getting free money. You didn't kill somebody, now you're gonna get free money while we figure out,
And what good is that? You're still getting paid. You're still getting the benefits of the job. Where else do they do that at?
Really got a vacation on some trail shit.
Yep.
That's all.
And it'd be a long vacation sometimes too, because the investigations take a long ass time.
They do them the same way they do Catholic priests. They just transfer them motherfuckers at the end of the day.
Yeah,
that's what their discipline is. And the fact that correlates that you could molest a child and kill a black man and you pretty much get the same treatment, that's wild.
That's ridiculous.
That shows you who they put or who they trust to be in power or who they worship more.
Damn right. Oh God. It's
the person that doesn't get the biggest treatment or the biggest punishment is the people who they worship more. And the people that get the swift justice is the people who they don't care about.
They look like them. They are the same.
Right. Yeah. This is that's a bad picture. I wish I could have got a better picture. That's Tyree Nichols. Right. Yeah. Let's see. These are the 5 police officers that beat him
See, I
down.
wouldn't trust none of them, no way, because none of them have a super clean lineup for real.
What? Let's see. In this,
The old buddy in the corner, he was like every bluster I ever fucking met in my life.
And that's the other guy in the video that was like, tase his ass, man. Preston Hemphill.
Oh, Paul Blart, Peter Griffin on Sunday's cop.
Yeah, he was rumored to be fired, but as
Rumored.
Marky just says, he got suspended.
Yeah, he on leave.
Mhm.
And that just came out 50 minutes ago. So unless they just fired him in the last 45 minutes, he ain't fired yet.
Right. That's the same thing I saw. Because they were saying he got fired days ago, and I know that was a rumor and stuff like that. So I never heard that from a reputable source, and so yeah, I'll trust CNN over all the other sources.
That's why I was like, let me double check real quick.
They probably fired him a real white person with, hey, sorry, we're gonna have to let you go. Sorry, hands are tied.
So I'm wondering what is the next step or course of action so this will not happen again, because I know it's probably a multivariate of things they could do. Training would be one of them. If the training is not there, if it means more longer training, if it means getting a psychology degree, I don't know what other form of training or things we can do to make sure this doesn't happen again. And I know I don't agree with defunding the police. I think we need police. We just need good police, which there are some out there. But you know what? Maybe there needs to be incentive for the actual good police to actually call out the bad police. Maybe that needs to happen. There's no incentive, I don't think. I think you can get in bigger trouble if you are a policeman, you are doing good, but if you see bad, what incentive would they have to go and tell their superior that something's bad has happened within this you could say gang or group of people who are supposed to keep the law? What is to keep them or what is to make them to go tell their superior that something bad is happening? Because what's usually going to happen is they're going to go and probably punish the person that snitched on them. That's what they'll say.
On cops.
The fact, and you know what, that is a real. I'm saying that it's like I'm the only incentive a cop should need for telling the truth is telling the truth. You sign up to protect and serve because you want to uphold the fucking law. If a cop or anyone in your precinct is breaking the law, that should be reason enough for you to want to tell the chief or captain. I don't know how the hierarchy works and shit. I gotta watch Brooklyn Nine-Nine. But yeah, there should be no. I mean, yeah, maybe let's give them a bonus. You want a bonus? Like we should fund the police. We should make it. I mean, don't they get rewarded based upon the crime they solve anyway? Like ain't that how like you was like, don't y'all you get a raise if you make I've watched Bad Boys a lot. I swear, I just don't know how policing actually works. Like it's either some really mundane paperwork type shit, or you're chasing Johnny Tapia all through Cuba. Like how there's so many dead black people in between, I don't know. But when you watch policing on TV, they really try to sell it to you like these are the good guys. They're out here stopping the rapists, like you see on Law and Order and shit, and they're out here, you know what I'm saying, arguing and Will Smith and Marcus Lawrence arguing about shit. That's what cops do. You know, bad boys. That's what it's supposed to be about. But in between, in the real world, there's so many dead black men. And the honest answer to solving all of this, the police have to be disbanded. Because it's an institution founded upon catching down runaway slaves. It's based upon white supremacy. Right. There's no way to effectively change that system because it's not meant to benefit us. Like the present problem is institutionalized slavery. Private prison systems make so much off of our bodies, off of black male bodies, black female bodies, black and brown bodies going into these systems and working for next to nothing, pretty much just being a slave. You get your name taken away, you get a number. you're forced into a literal concrete jungle. And not even just the ones we rap about, like in New York and shit, like a literal, probably not even fucking concrete. Like the living conditions are terrible. Like these people are literally jammed in here, forced to work, and then just discarded to society. They can't even reintegrate into society appropriately because they've been institutionalized. Much like how Black people, as of the course of slavery, or after the course of slavery, were not able to functionally integrate into American society because American society was actively working against us. And one of those institutions they put in place to work against us was the police department. I stand with Eazy-E, Dr. Dre, and motherfucking Ice Cube. Fuck the police. Sorry, some police is cool. Not fuck all the police, but fuck some other fuck a lot of the police.
Yeah. They said that when they were broke and didn't know where they were going to live at the next day. They're calling the police now. Somebody break into their house, so they want the police too. Dr. Dre, somebody broke into his house a couple years ago. He called the police, so he ain't about that life no more. He
called the police, but he did not make a banging ass song about it. So here we are.
That's still though. I mean, if we're going to leave it up to people's morals to do the right thing, then it ain't never gonna happen. That's why I was saying there has to be some other sort of incentive for police to call out the bad people, because if you have enough bad people but enough bad police in there, they're just gonna bully the good one to make him quit.
That's been happening.
They're gonna hire more bad policemen. I mean, just kind of like Training Day. You saw how Denzel was
bad, and that's what policing is founded upon.
Didn't the guy on Training Day end up quitting at the end?
Yeah, hell yeah. Or I don't know if he quit. He walked away, but
I maybe that position he quit. I think he quit that certain position.
Yeah. I'd have quit too.
Yeah, he had a rough day. He almost died.
Matter of fact, I ain't gonna lie. I would have stayed on the force, and I would have usurped Lonzo. I ain't gonna lie. I got a dark side. I would have become the new Lonzo. I liked everything that Lonzo was showing them on some real shit. I would have been seduced. After that fight with the crackheads, if it was like, you got mad squabbles, boy, I would have been like, for real? Thank you. I thought I was doing my, you know what I'm saying? I was out there. I would have been a dirty cop.
See that. All right. Did y'all, anybody else, what are y'all ideas on it? Like, how would you find a way to prevent this from happening again, or at least happening as much as it does happen?
Hey, Kendra. How much training you gonna give? How much training? It's all up to that individual, and they have to be punished. You don't treat a dog like that. Okay? The man, it was a traffic stop. He could have got a ticket. What did he do that he deserved that? I don't care what color he was. At this particular, this situation, he was Black, but it could have been anybody. Nobody deserved that. So if you feel that you want to break the law, because that is not how police are trained. Whatever team they called, I heard they called the Scorpion team.
Not no more.
Out there to get the crime or whatever. Well, Scorpion, kangaroo, hippopotamus, whatever you want to call yourself, you do not deserve, the people do not deserve to be treated like that. Pulled out the car, you sprayed them, you tased them for driving reckless. I don't care. It was uncalled for. It was excessive, and they have to be punished. And any police officer or anybody who holds a badge of the law must know the law. And that is not how police officers are trained. They are not trained that way. That is excessive force.
You gotta be a little fucked up in the head to even do something like that, because
evil.
It's on camera.
Evil. That was the Scorpion evil team. Okay, and trust me, he probably wasn't the first one.
He's not gonna be the last either.
First victim. So this person passed away.
Right.
The other ones probably limped away.
Word.
Right. But you have to imagine, most criminals try to do stuff in the dark. They try to do stuff in the silence. They don't try to get caught by the camera. These officers already knew they were coming in here with body cams on and still didn't care.
And it was a street
Yeah, they
camera.
didn't care.
It was a street camera.
In the scuffle.
And it was a body cam too. Yeah, and a street cam. Yeah, you're right.
They made no sense. You're talking on the camera. It's recording you. I don't know who they thought they were.
That's what I said.
They was
because you took a
y'all
life.
can't fuck with police. That's what they thought they was. They thought they was untouchable.
This was wrong. I don't care what color you. This was wrong, and it's wrong for any police officer to do something like this, to be excessive like this. I don't care what color you are. It's wrong. It was wrong, and they have to pay the consequences. The man lost his life.
Right. All right.
One thing that I just read too, I was trying to catch. It said that one of the reasons why they said that thus far that they hadn't charged the white officer was because it says that he wasn't present. It says, I'm just saying what it says, allegedly that he wasn't present at the second. So when they caught up to him,
when they ran,
actually. When he ran, because he ran from them, and they had to pursue him. And when they caught him, they said that the white officer wasn't there when they caught him. That the reason that he got put on leave was for the use of his taser at the beginning. Now, this is something I just read, and I'm saying allegedly. I'm not defending nobody because all they asked was wrong, and all they asked should have been fired. Period. Don't give a damn whether you was at the end, you was at the beginning, you tased them, you kicked them, you whatever. Your ass should be fucking fired. So. Trust me, I'm not defending nobody. I'm just stating what the article says, but that is why they claim that they didn't fire him because he wasn't present at that second part. They also said that there's about 20 more hours of footage. They said there's 20 more hours of footage to be released. They talked about additional charges being charged towards them for them lying. On the police reports and all of that kind of stuff. They lied so damn bad when they made the police
because what was this charge anyway? Like, what was they pulling him over for? Was it really just?
Yeah, they said it was. They claim it was for reckless driving, is what they stated.
Yeah. And they were beating his ass like that.
Ticket.
The police report don't even match the video.
So ran a light, ran a stop
y'all
sign,
falsified that.
Zigzagging, give him a ticket.
Yeah.
But even with that, I mean, they approached his cars with guns drawn.
Right.
Like, you didn't even approach his car at any time being peaceable. You all, and it was all of y'all approached his car with guns drawn. So y'all was going up there for the shits and giggles, yeah.
Right.
Which granted the Scorpion unit is kind of like, what we know is the jump out boys. Right. So the jump out boys ain't usually coming to play with you anyway. When they come and jump out on your ass, they coming to jump out on your ass. Right. So, that's how it's been, but they don't make it right. But that's the unit that it was or whatever. The whole shit is wrong. They asked all these to be fired.
Like, niggas always want to be on attack mode in the hood. Like,
the other shit that's crazy is you see none of these officers, all of these officers were hired between 2017 and 2020. All of these officers were hired between that time period. But they was all damn near hired during the pandemic. Or a little bit right before the pandemic.
Oh, yeah. Even worse.
That's what I'm saying. Yeah. All of the officers that says were hired. Yeah. Yep. So they
showing off.
Yep, showing off. They got a little bit of power or a whole lot of power, whatever they want to interpret it. They knew when they was getting their rocks off. And the shit is sinful and it don't make no sense.
Wow.
Yeah, because the whole purpose of the police unit, Scorpion unit, whatever it's called, is to bring the person in so they can have their day in court to seek justice. Not for them to take street justice out on just any human being.
The Scorpion team for traffic stops? Because again, if this nigga's only charge was reckless driving, what the fuck?
Why is y'all even stopping him? Yeah, why y'all? The Scorpion unit should be doing no kind of traffic stops. Exactly. Y'all supposed to be out doing shit with warrants and stuff like that.
What these niggas got a whole nother team for to kill people? Like, we giving them fun team names to kill people? These are
wow.
It was horrible.
Damn.
All right, we're going to go into the next subject. We're going to the Leave It or Medicated part of the show. Put this little thing up here right quick. Oh, no, actually make it a little small. There we go. We don't want to cover up everybody's face. So leave it or medicated. The story we're going to talk up next, but let me just explain the rules for people who haven't watched it. Whatever story we're talking about, leave it if you don't have a problem with the story we're talking about, and medicate it if you think whatever is the problem in the story needs to be fixed, and then tell us what needs to be fixed with the story. Okay, so first thing we got this video I'm gonna show. It's about a lady talking about independence and what she feels about that word independent, being independent.
For shizzle.
Let's see, pull that up right quick. Okay. All right, why did that not share the video?
This is Bob's while we waiting.
Of course, now it doesn't want to share the video. Give me a second, then. Let me see if I can pull it up this way.
He just vibing out like
He at the disco. Ah, he got his disco light. I can't.
he in his own zone right now.
2020. Saturday night.
Doing lo-fi music now. That's my thing. I'm doing lo-fi music, just smooth beats that I talk over, like a radio. I'm like a radio announcer that never plays a song. I'm just talking to you. Me and now listening to the smooth sound of drive.
You always in your quiet storm voice.
It's the loud rain.
All right, go ahead and play the video and see if it plays it.
Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent. Because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.
I
like video. All right, so this is Leave It or Medicated. Leave it if you don't have a problem with what she had to say. Or what
I missed it.
Yeah. Can you run
Play
it
it again.
One more time.
Yeah, run it back.
You couldn't hear it, or it's just too quick?
Yeah.
We heard. It's just we want to hear it again because she didn't.
Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent. Because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.
My wrists are broke?
Yeah, that means she's able to accept assistance.
Oh.
Like instead of being strong and holding your hands up, her wrists.
She's vulnerable
are
now.
broken.
She gonna
She can't do shit.
she gonna take their help now.
She has to dumb herself down basically. When she around men, she gotta dumb herself down so that they will feel like she needs to be helped.
Damsel in distress syndrome.
Because she feel like if she too strong, they not gonna help her because she got it.
All right, we'll let you go one at a time. Okay, so let's see. LT, I'll let you go first. Just this initial conversation, and we'll come back around initially. Everyone gets a minute, and then we'll come back and just free talk after that. So LT, first, do you want to leave it or medicate it? Do you have a problem with her, what she describes as her disdain for independence? Or are you okay with what she says? And if you're okay, leave it. If not, medicate it.
I guess I'll medicate it. I'll medicate it.
Okay. Hold on. Thing ain't turned up all the way.
Are you ready? Go!
Go ahead.
All right, so interdependence, the dependence of two or more people or things on each other. The new economic interdependence or two. I'm still trying to understand what interdependence means, but I mean it works in theory. I wouldn't disagree with being interdependent with someone, but if I disagree with the sentiment of no one coming to the aid of the strong. One strength, primarily, particularly just us as men, our strength can be shown in the times we allow ourselves to be vulnerable. So that is allowing someone to come to your aid. You know, being able to say, especially if you're wrong about something like that. That's you being able to humble yourself. You're allowing people to come to your aid. So there are things that you need to. There is a there's benefits to being strong, and I think that strong should always be something that is attractive. Like a woman should never have to dumb that down or negate her dominant energy.
Okay. All right. Giggles, I'll let you go next. Do you want to leave it or medicate it?
I'll medicate it.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Because like I gotta agree what he said in the sense of, you know, I don't have no idea what interdependent means, but in the sense of nobody coming to the aid, you know, of a strong person. Because I have to disagree with that too, because I know I'm a strong person, but I can be vulnerable at times, and I've had people come to my aid, even though I really don't know how to be like, okay, I need help. But you know, it's like when you know, you know. And I just feel like that's her situation. Maybe for her, they didn't come to her aid because she was, however, she came off maybe too strong. She intimidated them and they just like backed up. Okay, she got it. But I know I could say for me, then yeah, I would have to say I disagree with that. People can come to your aid just because you're strong if you let them.
Okay. Is you good?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. See, Sparky, you there?
I am.
Okay. What did you want to do? Do you want to leave it or medicate it?
I'm gonna medicate that thing.
All right. Tell us why.
Ready? Go!
I'm gonna medicate it because y'all know I ain't about dumbing myself down for nobody. Whether it's a woman or a man, I am ridiculously strong and I'm independent, and I'm not trying to tell nobody that I'm not. I do agree with what Giggle said, though. It's just because you're strong don't mean that people won't come to your aid. But on the flip side of that, when you're the person that people usually come to for assistance, sometimes people will forget that you might need assistance too. You know, if you're the person that's always giving out, you know, if you're the person that's always giving out advice, I tell my girlfriends, to me, our lives are like ATMs. If you constantly giving out and giving out and giving out, eventually you're going to have insufficient funds for yourself because you don't have anybody pouring into you. You got to make deposits into yourself and withdrawals from yourself. And so, but you know what I'm saying? Allowing somebody to deposit into you or come to your aid doesn't mean that you're not strong or you're not independent. That could just mean that you're wise.
Blame.
Bam.
Okay. Parisi, what do you want to do? Leave it or medicate?
I'll medicate.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Like the lady said, I wouldn't want to put myself down. I'm very independent and strong-minded, and I'm a human being. There might be times that I may need help, but to say that I don't need it, no. And if you are the right person in my life, you should want to help me regardless whether I need it or not.
Mm-hmm.
And that's it. You let the timer stop because I'm done.
All right. Record time.
Next.
Respectfully read, fuck the clock is what she said.
Dr. Lamar, I don't know if you got to see the video or not.
No, I'm sorry, what were we talking about?
I'll put.
I mean, I can skip too because you know I'm too long-winded.
No, you can't because we got a time limit now. So I'll play the video for you again. Well, you won't hear it. I'll play the video for you.
Now they got Mr. Chris and Mr. Eric over here. And I took them to be a part of different organizations because when you think of something strong, you do not think of coming to the aid of it. So when we are looked at and walk around as strong, what we're putting out is, I do not need assistance. I don't need your help. So anytime a man says, oh, I love it, you're so strong. I said, no, I'm not strong. I'm resilient. I'm not independent. I'm interdependent because nobody ever comes to the aid of the strong person. So when I'm around men, my wrists are broke.
Okay. And based off of that, do you agree with what she had to say about independence? You want to leave it, or if you disagree, medicate it?
I'm leaving. I agree with 1,000%.
All right. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Here go to speech.
Yeah. Look, you know how I am. You know
You only got a minute. Go ahead.
Okay. All right. Nope. I agree with her because she's absolutely right. When you don't even have to tell people you're strong. You could just make things seem easy, and nobody won't come there and be like, oh, I didn't know you needed help. You didn't say anything. Well, you didn't offer help either. I'm tired and I'm sick myself. But she's right. They never ask. They never come to your aid. But I've heard people say that you make things seem so easy. I'm like, well, most women have to. That's just the way we have to. We didn't have anybody to lean on for help. There was no one. We are the one. And I hate to say, especially in a lot of our Black families, like people always come. I don't care if it ain't but for $5 or for it could be a couple of. Okay, that's it. That's all I gotta say.
She knows she have more.
Go to the clock.
60 seconds. Nope.
She gotta finish this.
We're gonna come back to you. Okay, so let me go last, and then it'll be a free for all for everybody after this one. I guess it's gonna be me and Dr. Lamar. I guess it's gonna be the one to agree with it. I'm gonna leave.
Are you ready? Go!
Yeah, that I have to agree with the lady. I was like, nobody wants to. It's not going to try to come to the aid of somebody who said they're quote unquote independent, because if you're independent, that means you saying you can do it on your own. I don't agree with that. I think most people in the world are interdependent on other people. We don't like to admit it. The president is interdependent on people. Kings are even interdependent on people. They have advisors they even go to. Kings can't do it all on their own. They even have soldiers. They even fight for them. Everybody in this world, no matter what position they are in life, is interdependent on somebody. But if you're screaming it out there, I'm an independent person, like that's a nice title to have. No man is, most men are not going to go out there and say, hey, I got my own house, I'm an independent man. That would seem silly. Resilient. I like that word she used. You're resilient because you may have to do it. But if you don't have to do it, why would you not accept help? And most people are just not going to give you help if you're screaming that title out there that you're just independent. I can do it on my own. People who are on drugs, they say, hey, I can get off these drugs easily. I don't need no help. And then nobody goes to help them because they're like, I can do it on my own. I don't need no help. And then they end up falling on their face and passing away from the drugs they're doing on an every nightly basis.
Okay, well,
but being independent, you could be independent, but you should have a little common sense too to know, hey, maybe this person might need me. Let me see. Let me at least offer. Because who doesn't want an independent woman? Why would you want a woman that doesn't do
an independent woman?
And I just want to point out that she said she's not strong, she's resilient. Resilient is a synonym for strong. They mean they're the same thing. In the face of trouble that comes to them. But no one is resilient all the time, because that defeats the purpose of being resilient. You can't be resilient all the time. If you weren't resilient all the time, you'd be dead. You would break.
Yeah.
Exactly.
You would be stressed.
Who wants someone that also yells about being broke all the time?
You would have a breakdown.
Right. I'm always at war with myself. Who wants to,
right?
I need you. Like, who wants?
Right. You will get tired of me always calling on you all the time.
Yeah. Being resilient is
you need to get yourself together.
Being resilient would be like in fight or flight mode. All the not all the time, but some of the time. But independence is what she's trying to describe is, I want to have this level of vulnerability. That's like being in fight or flight mode all day, and eventually that's going to break you down. And she's saying, hey, I don't want to have to be independent where I don't have an opening where people ask, do I need help? On the outside, on the inside, you might do need help. But on the outside, if you are screaming that title, I'm independent, nobody's going to come to help you. If they feel like you're the expert on it and you don't need any help, nobody's going to come to help you. I'm not going to come to help you. You say you can change your own tire. I'm independent. Okay, by all means, do your own thing. If you can do it, do it. But I'm going to come to somebody who looks like they're struggling with the tire. I'm going to come to somebody who's struggling, trying to change their alternator or whatever. I'm going to come to them. But if you say, hey, I know how to do these things with these cars, I'm my own person, I'm not going to go to you. And that's what independent sounds like to me. And like I said, guys,
everything.
If guys were to say that, they're going to be called cocky.
I'm going to come to somebody.
I think you could be independent, but I mean, not with everything. But I think everybody has some type of independence within themselves. You're independent.
You should.
Yeah, I think everybody
some aspects, yeah.
And then like there's certain things like, hey, Big Ray, could you help me with this? Because I really don't know what to do. But that doesn't mean I don't have independence. Right. I still got independence in myself. It's just certain things I may not be able to do.
All the time. Yeah, you can be an independent mother and handle your kids, but at some point you want to break. Say, hey,
amen.
Can you watch the kids tonight? I'm tired.
But that doesn't mean that you're not independent, though. Right. You know what I'm saying? Just because at some point you may want somebody to give you help doesn't mean that you're not independent. Because because independence is usually like depending on that person for your livelihood. Wait a minute, independence is usually about depending on somebody for livelihood or your sustenance. You know what I'm saying? I don't need you to pay my bills. I don't need you to do that. I can be independent in that aspect, but that don't mean that I may not want to lean on you for something else, or you gonna lean on me for something else. That don't mean, you know what I'm saying? I want a man that can pay his own bills, that's independent, that ain't trying to worry about me helping him pay his bills. That don't mean that I might not be willing to cook or do something else that we might need each other for, but I don't want no man that gotta depend on me like that. And I hope the man don't want me as a woman to have to depend on him like that. Right. But I also understand that men want to feel needed. Right. That's what a lot of it is about. Men want to feel needed. You know what I'm saying? Men don't want to be with somebody that they feel like don't need them. So that's where the balance comes in.
Nobody wants to be with somebody they don't feel like they need at any time. But it's still, that's not independent. That's interdependent. You still got to depend on somebody to give you money from your job. That's interdependent. You still got to depend on somebody to work on your car. Yeah, but in this relationship, in this situation, she was talking about, she was saying that she's one way around women, and when she gets around men, her wrists are broke. She's talking that you're not even being true to yourself, because you talk about when you get around the other sex, you just automatically turn it into this damn damsel in distress just because you around a man now. You didn't went from being able to do all of this. Yes, she did. Yes, she did. She said she didn't say damsel in distress, but she said as soon as I get around a man, my wrists are broke. That is saying the same damn thing. That's saying that you're changing who you are when you're getting around a specific sex. Right. You are dumbing yourself down. You're dumbing down. No, why should you? The fuck you mean you should? Why should I dumb myself down just because I'm around a motherfucking man?
That ain't happening.
Shit me. No, I should
We ain't doing that.
And for a man to tell me that I should get the fuck out of here.
That's a negative, okay?
Really?
No.
What did we just talk about earlier in the show? What did we just talk about earlier in the show?
You tell me. Don't be questioning me like, what did we talk about earlier in the show?
You were not here?
Big Red, can people make comments? Can your audience make comments?
Yeah, they can make comments. But we were talking about earlier in the show. We were talking about earlier in the show. Who are we going to trust more? Do we going to trust our spouse more or our friends more? And that's being different. If we don't tell the same thing we tell our friends than we do our spouse, ain't that being different? We are being different. We're supposed to be different with our spouse. We're supposed to go to your spouse for protection. Same way.
Yeah, but you talking about your spouse. She didn't say her spouse. She just said men in general.
That's a man. Your man,
Yeah, but that would be every man. She didn't say for my spouse. She said for a man. But she said she said all men. She said men she said all men. She didn't say just her spouse. She didn't say she was doing that and she was submitting to her spouse. Her wrists were broke for her spouse. She didn't say that. She said as soon as she gets around a man, that's any man. You didn't say a man that you want to be with. You didn't say no. She didn't say that though. She didn't say that.
That's what the
she
whole
didn't say that.
conversation was about. It was about relationship. It was about.
She said that she had these people and that she brought them to this group, and that if people come across as strong, people never come to help them. That's not just in a relationship. She just said period. She could be talking about in her everyday life.
She said that when she period. She didn't say a crackhead man. She didn't say the man that works at the gas station.
She said when I get around, and she said when I get around men, my wrists are broke. She didn't but she didn't say that.
Her relationship.
You're assuming she said as in her relationship. She never stipulated that. She never stipulated that. I didn't assume anything. I went by what she said. No, I didn't.
Yeah, you did.
She said when she gets around any man, her wrists are broken.
That's generalized.
She said when she gets around men.
It's a relationship show. Trust me, I watched it. It's a relationship show.
Okay, but you still played a part of it. You still played part of the content.
Who is she in a relationship on the show?
But you said they're going to say about you're the same way around women that you are around men. Are you telling me that?
Me?
You're sitting there telling
yes. Yes, I am the same person that I am around women and that I am around men.
So you said what? Around women and you're the same way you are around a guy.
Every man that I'm around, I'm not romantic. Hold up. Every man that I am around, I'm not romantic with every man that I'm around. So I wouldn't say that I'm romantic around men.
If you are, then that's fine. But are you romantic around women?
Telling your significant
I'm me regardless. I am me regardless. I am the same around men as I am around women. I have masculine energy, period. And that's around women and men. Sometimes men are offended with that shit, and sometimes they're not. But I am me regardless. I'm not changing me, whether I'm dealing with men or women. That's just who I am.
You have masculine energy around anybody. Okay, I'm glad you're back. I don't want masculine energy. I want feminine energy. And
that's fine. And some dudes give off feminine energy, and I don't want their feminine asses either. Mm-hmm. So I get it. I get it. Just like dudes don't want masculine energy, I don't want no nigga with no feminine energy. And there's plenty of dudes out here that's walking around like that.
That's the truth.
Let's see.
You know, she never said she wanted to depend on anybody. She said interdependence. She never said dependence at one time. But
here's the thing: when she said interdependence, that is a mutual depending upon each other. She is lessening herself in that moment, though.
Interdependence and dependence are two different things.
Like she's weakening herself to be taken care of. That's
right.
That's being
like
the things that she can probably do. She allows them to do it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because as soon as she gets around her man, her wrists are broken. That's what she said. It's no use in taking that away. That's what she said.
You should.
You should what?
That's unproductive to a party that's trying.
Why should a woman weaken herself around a man? Why should she be a lesser person around a man?
If I can do certain things
to my wife, I'm going to weaken myself to my wife because I want her form of protection that she can give me. In the same way a woman should do that to her man.
There's nothing good about weakening anything.
I don't think that anybody should.
Why can't we both be positive? Why can't we both have the positive energy and help each other? If I can do things that I don't need you, then you should be able to do things that you don't need me. And whatever we can't do, we work on it together.
Right.
I don't want to lower my standards as a woman, but I don't want to lower my standards as a woman. If I could do certain things and I don't have to call on you, why should I have to? Why should I bother you when I know that I can do it? When I know that I can do it. If there's things like a changing a tire, I'm not going to try to change a tire. But if I can do other things as a woman, why should I bother you when I say, well, let me leave him alone. I can do this. And whatever I can't do, I'm going to call on him, baby. I don't think I can do this. Can you help me?
That's great. I'm saying you can do that. I'm just saying, don't say you're not going to ask for help. Because hey,
But
there's a lot of
nobody
people
said
that
they
pay.
weren't gonna
But I
ask
would
for help.
only ask your help if
Nobody
I
said they
needed.
weren't gonna ask for help. Nobody ever
Right.
said
If
that.
I
That you're
needed you,
independent
then
and
I
you're
would
not
ask
going to
you.
ask for help. That's what independent is.
Nobody
What's
said that
wrong
you're
with
not going to ask for
having
help.
independence?
Independent means that you're not requiring for
independent.
anybody for your substance. I don't have to require somebody for my substance. That
I know
doesn't
you
mean
don't.
that I don't have to ask nobody for no help in any situation.
Right.
I don't depend on nobody for no money. That doesn't mean that
You
I
depend
don't
on your
work
job
with
for
some.
money. Yes, you do.
That
That's
doesn't mean that
independence.
well, I work for
Okay, so the
myself.
definition
Well, who
of
gives
You know
you
what
the
I'm
money?
saying?
outside
Customers don't
control,
You
pay
know,
you.
not depending
Well,
on
customers
I
don't pay
another's
you.
authority.
work for myself though.
You can work for yourself,
Right.
but customers still have to pay
You're
you. That's still
100%
interdependence.
correct. Not depending on another.
Hold up, because both of y'all talking, I can't understand.
I'm sorry. I was confirming that you had the correct definition of independence, not depending on another for livelihood or substance, free from outside control, not depending on another's authority.
But
So
you do
in that
depend on
moment, when
somebody else.
she's
You
seeking
depend
So
on
that
your
doesn't mean
customers.
so that don't mean that you're never asking for help.
Dr.
Interdependence.
Lamar, what?
You
Dr.
are going
Lamar,
to
what do
depend
you
on
say?
somebody.
What do you
You have
say?
to depend on your customers whether you work for yourself or not. That's still interdependence. You have to depend on the companies to give
But
you
see,
your
that's the broader scale of
to your customers.
That's
That's
an economic
interdependence.
base of interest.
Regardless of what you have
Well,
to do
so
in
if
life,
so,
you have
but so how you trying to
depend
put
on
it?
somebody.
Basically, is all of us in the universe are all interdependent on each other. We all know that. No man is an island. No man is an island. So we
Very
all
true.
know that. We all know that
Stop
we
saying
need
you're
other people to
independent.
survive in this
Yeah,
universe.
the
So
United
stop
States is
making it.
Okay,
Stop
I'm
it.
disagree with that.
Stop it.
The point
Stop
is,
it.
stop
Like,
saying
come
you're
on, stop
independent
it
when
now.
you can't get help.
Stop it.
Like
Now,
Stop.
I'm not
Stop.
ever going to say I'm independent and like I can't get help. So
Well,
why
that's
even say
good. Well, that's
independent?
good
If
that you
that's the
choose
case,
not to use
why?
that word. Nobody
Why
because
even say it
nobody
then?
is saying that as you because you're
You
independent
just said
that you
that.
can't get help. Nobody
Look,
said
you're
that
not
Yes,
you
they
saying
are
can't get
saying
help,
that. Yes, they
and
are
that's
saying
not
that.
even
So
what the
Big Greg, you
definition
said
says.
you're not
That's
independent.
not
They are
even what
saying
the
that.
definition says.
That's
You
what
That's
I
said
know.
not
That's what
even
they're
what
saying,
the
but that's what
definition
people
says
have
through a clause.
misconstrued with the definition, though. They are
Okay,
saying
but
it.
people
are
have
you
misconstrued it because somebody misconstrued it. Don't make it right. The 5
I
officers
know that.
misconstrued
That's what
it.
I'm
The
saying.
5 officers should misconstrue. They should have beat that man. That
Hey,
don't
you're
make it
right, but
right.
they did it. So
Doesn't make
stop
it right.
doing it.
But it
But
still doesn't mean that
interdependent on
somebody
their
should have to
package.
dumb themselves down
Didn't
to
say
make
that.
somebody else feel comfortable. Nobody
Right.
should have to do that. Nobody should have
I
that.
thought
Yeah,
that
that's not
people
dumbing yourself down,
I
though.
thought that
That's
people
being
love to
submissive
have
to
people
somebody.
that's independent. That's
I
what I
know.
thought. I always thought that it's beautiful to have somebody that's very independent
Who wants
and
a
want to
needy
do
person?
things.
Who wants
You
a
know,
deep
hey
thinking
babe, I
person?
did this. You didn't have to do it. I got you. I thought that was a beautiful thing. I come home, sweetie. Listen, you can rest. I took care of it already. I thought that's what we look for. That's somebody that's independent.
Don't
and
nobody
only
want
when
no
we
needy
really
person all the
need.
time.
Like the
If we,
opposite of
I don't want to keep calling
Right.
on my man all the time.
You're
Oh baby, I
right.
need this. Oh
I'm
baby, can you do
agreeing
this?
with
Oh
what
baby,
you're
can you do
And
that?
don't nobody want nobody that need to call on them constantly.
Right.
You
Exactly.
can't do
I
shit
wouldn't
for
want that.
yourself. You can't do
I'm
nothing for
That's
yourself.
literally what a
No,
child
nobody
is.
want that shit.
No
Eventually, you
one's
get
disagreeing
tired
with
of
that,
it.
You're
Sparky.
gonna get
So,
drunk to that.
but that's what you're trying to make it
No,
seem
I'm
like.
not.
If you
No,
can do
no, no.
anything
What?
for
No.
yourself,
I'm
then
saying
you're
the
saying
one who
you're
doesn't
independent and
want
you don't need
help.
help. It's like, come
No.
on.
No.
Everybody needs help,
Yeah,
regardless of whether you
Everybody.
depend
no,
on.
but some people
Everybody
don't
needs
ask for
help
help,
on
though,
some level.
Sparky. Just like I
Say
said with
what?
somebody who's on drugs, they don't want help. And they say, I can do it on my own. No, everybody doesn't want help.
But
Some
that's
people
Nobody
different.
said that
That's
everybody wants help, but
addiction.
that's not even what she
you
was
just
saying.
said
She was
that.
saying that if you're
That is
strong,
addiction.
that
Addiction.
nobody can come and help you because you're
That
strong.
is
That's not
addiction.
true.
That's an
But
addiction.
some people like
That's
that.
different.
You can sit there and say there's not people like that as being
You can't
disingenuous.
compare that. You can't compare a
You're
drug.
trying to
That's
compare addiction to
addiction.
I'm
relationship.
giving an
That's something
example. I'm
inside
not
because
saying
deep
it.
inside they want the help. They just don't know how to go about getting it.
That
Because
is
they
a person
trying to
who
fight it.
psychologically cannot
Yeah, that's
be
totally different.
independent.
That's different.
No, it's
They're
not. It's
fine.
another form of somebody not asking for help. Somebody may not ask for help for
That, you're
cooking,
literally comparing
drugs,
Yeah, but
crackheads
that's
to
a
individuals.
drug.
doing their job.
That's
That's
a
all those
drug.
forms. People don't ask for help. And some people are too stubborn not to ask for help because they want to have the label of being independent. Whether the word is used right or wrong,
Too stubborn
people
to
do
ask for
that.
help, and sometimes it don't have shit to do with independence.
Sometimes it
Sometimes
don't.
people ain't good common sense to just ask for help.
You're
Like
right.
sometimes it doesn't have anything to
look at
do
the
with
way-
independent one way way or the other.
You're right. Sometimes it don't, but sometimes it does.
We can't look at the way this lady was
Right,
using
but
the word.
sometimes it does.
she really tried to say resilient and strong weren't the same thing, but they are. So
They
this lady
are.
was saying a bunch of nothing to make it seem like she was making herself feel better about turning down her energy. I toned myself down so that I can be chose. That's literally what she was saying. She did a whole bunch of dancing around it. She did a whole bunch of saying,
And that's
well,
crazy
when
because
you're
she has
strong, nobody
a show
comes
on
to your
being
aid. No one
positive,
comes to your
having
aid.
women
You
be
don't
positive.
ask.
So why would she say that? Why
Like,
would she talk like that? Because
That ain't being
her
positive.
show,
Be able to
her
ask
show
for
is
help.
about being positive and women being strong and independent and carrying yourselves correctly. So why would you lower your standards to get help? I'd rather ask
lower
for
who
help
you
than
know.
lower my.
She break
I'd
her
rather
wrist.
ask for help than
she
lower my
needed help. Like,
standards.
she literally turned
I
into
would,
like,
as a woman, I would say, listen, I need help.
I don't know how to do this.
That's
I'm not gonna lower my
That's like
standards.
people. That's like people that get on food stamps and they not gonna go make no more money because they want to keep getting them food stamps or they want to keep getting that help. They don't want to come across as strong so they can get that help. Come on, why are we dumbing ourselves down? Why are we making ourselves seem less so that people can basically stomach us? That's almost what you're saying. And the only thing, my only thing with it was that when you get around any man, you got to do it. You know what I'm saying? With your spouse, with whatever, I get that. But anytime you get around any man, you automatically turn into a different individual.
That's like getting
That's like,
around
come
white
on.
people and acting poor.
Yeah, now you putting on. You getting around
Exactly.
white
Yup.
people and now you start
Fact.
doing the same fuck shit.
Man, I'm
Anytime
so-
you get around a certain group of people, you changing yourself. Now what the hell is that?
I ain't
Nah.
got to do all that. Yeah, it's racial now. See.
I don't
Women
see
be
no problem
great,
with
though.
ever asking for help. It's like, okay,
I don't think there's no problem with asking for help either. I don't think there's a problem with asking for help at all. And I
Right.
don't even think that just because you're strong that you can't ask somebody for help. Shit,
There
I
you
know how
go.
to change the tire. You know
I
what I'm
think it's
saying?
more
Sometimes I
strong.
might change
Asking
it.
for help.
Sometimes I might not.
If she
I think
breaks
it's
her
more
wrist,
strong
she
to be
act
able
like
to
her wrist
ask
goes
for
and
help
ask for
than to just say I can just do it on my own.
Listen, I'm independent, but if I can't do something, I'm gonna ask for help. I
There's
lower my.
people like that though. I'm saying that
My
don't ask for
pride is
help.
not high like that where I can't ask for help. I'll try it on my own, but when I know I can't do it, listen, I don't think I can do this. Can you help me? But I'm still independent.
Yeah,
But
because you tried it on your own. You
Yes,
tried to
but
do
I'm
it
gonna
on your
try it
own.
first, and I'm gonna say, let me see if I can do this before I bother him. If I can't do it, sweetie, I need help. You know, I really can't do this.
But I tried, or I
But
researched it, or I did whatever.
because I want you to know that I'm not the
I'm
type of person
capable.
that just I'm
I'm
not
not
the
saying
type of
for
person that
every
just
waking thing in the world that you ask for help. I'm saying when you're stretched too thin because people got one job, two jobs, they got several kids, they don't have time to do everything. But there are some people that can try to do everything and try to be Mr. Fix It or Mrs. Fix It All, and they don't have time to do nothing else. That's why it's important. And I know you're saying, oh man, I'm speaking strictly on relationships or marriage. Your mate should be able to fill in the blocks where you can't fill in. Of course,
I agree.
Absolutely.
I agree with that. I totally agree with that. I totally agree with that.
That's true. Of
I'm
course.
talking men and women, not just women. I don't even call it dumbing down. I call that strength. When you can ask for help for somebody, because we all can't do everything. But there are people out there, there are women and men out there that want to try to do everything and get the credit for everything instead of asking for help, and they're laboring behind everyone else because they won't ask for help.
Use the words "I need help." Don't make it seem like you are like helpless. Ask for help. Don't.
That's a difference. Yeah, to say I'm breaking my wrist is almost like as soon as I get in the presence of this person, I just can't do nothing. I'm just so helpless. I'm just so, oh my God.
That's what she made it look like.
That's what she said and did and all of that. I'm not going to do that. Even with my spouse. I'm not even going to do that with my spouse because I don't want all of the things that I have going on now to be on his plate. I don't have any problem asking for help. I don't have any problem saying that I can't do it. All of that. I want him to be able to come to me and ask me for help. You know what I'm saying? But I don't feel like when I get in with any section of people, you know, any group of people that I have to be this particular way so that I'm not seen as independent or whatever.
So Big Red, you see the problem. Big Red, you see it being a problem of you asking your partner for help?
No, I'm telling you, I'm sure y'all do ask for help. I'm
Okay.
saying the exact opposite. I'm saying you should be able to ask for your partner for help, so you're not
But
stretched
do
too
you
thin.
try to do
Don't be
things
so
first?
independent that you
Do you
can't
try
ask
do
your partner for help.
But do you think it's maybe the person should try themselves first and then say,
I
"Hey,
don't
I need."
have a problem with that. I'm talking about everything. When I'm saying independent, I mean where you just don't ask for help for nothing. And there are people like that where they won't ask for help because they want credit for everything. There are people
Sometimes
like
it may not
that. I'm
even
not
be
speaking
about
on
getting
everybody.
credit though.
Maybe it's how
Sometimes it might not
what
even
they
be
went
about
through.
getting credit.
Maybe it's what they went through in life too.
In the past, yeah, they might not have had
Maybe
experience
they
in
had to
anybody
do
wanting to help
everything.
them.
You
Maybe they
could
had
be
to do
correct.
everything in their past.
You
And
could be
that's how
correct.
it is. Yeah. They're afraid to ask people because all their lives they had to take care of things themselves.
And that's sad because they didn't have somebody.
Mm-hmm.
That's sad. I don't want nobody to have to feel like I wouldn't want my woman to have to feel that way. I want her to be able to come to me, and I should be able to do the same thing. Not on everything, but there are some things she is stronger on than I am. And there's some things I'm stronger on doing than she is. And she should
Right.
be able to come to
Because
me.
it could be with trust too. Maybe somebody that they depended on one
There
time
you
in
go.
their life,
Trust.
they hurt them, and now they figured, well, nobody's ever going to put me in this position again. So therefore, I'm going to start doing things
There
by
you go.
myself and not depend on someone, because someone told me before they was going to have my back, and guess what? They didn't. So now I'm going to take care of me.
And you're exactly right. And
Now
trust
I'm going to
is
take
the
care of
reason
me.
why somebody will not even ask for help because they don't have trust for outsiders a lot of
Well,
times like that.
I'm going to keep my independence, and if I need your help, I'll ask for it. But I'm going to always try. I'm going to always try first before I ask for somebody's help. I'm always going to try. Now, if it's a tie or something, of course I don't believe I can do it, but I'm sure I'm gonna call AAA. I got AAA, honey, stay home. I got AAA. Let this man, what I pay for once a year, come out here and fix my tire. That's me being independent, not having to call on you because I got the resources to get it done.
There you go.
That saves you a headache. That saves you less of a headache. Well, babe, I will come. No, baby, I got AAA. Let that company come out here and take this tire off and put the new one on. I'm good. I'll call you when I'm almost home. To me, that's being independent, taking the pressure off of you. That's how I look at
That's
it.
a way to help. Yes, that is a way to help. I'm just saying for every waking thing.
No, not everything. I don't think that, because I think everybody in life needs help from their partner.
I've
But
seen
I'm not gonna
some
say,
that-
I can't do it. My wrist is broke. Oh, baby, can you do this? Oh, baby, can you do that? No, I'm not doing that. And that's exactly what she said.
Yeah, if you gotta let a man be a man, and that man can't assert his man, like just can't assert his manhood in the places that it needs to be asserted at.
Mm-hmm.
You have other conversations to have in the relationship. You know what I'm saying? Like you shouldn't manipulate a situation so that you can enforce a role that needs to be enforced. Like if you're 5'6" and you have a friend who's 6'5", but they're trash at basketball, but everyone expects them to be good because they're 6'5". So you tone down your God-given abilities, even though you're 5'6", just so they can try to work on their skill. Like that's your teammate, and you're purposefully weakening your skills just because this is the avenue that they should be excelling.
Right. To make them look good.
But no, we're a team. Like it's a team. There's no I in that shit. Remember?
Right.
The other reason I ain't think that she was just talking about relationships though, because even in the thing when she said, when I meet men and they say, oh, you so independent or you're so strong, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm resilient. That part of the thing doesn't make it preference like you're talking about your relationship, because you're talking about when you meet people and when you come into contact with people, how people see you. You're not talking about from your relationship standpoint. You're just talking about when you meet a man, the everyday Joe Schmo, and they be like, oh, you so independent, you correct them and say, no, I'm not. Or you're so strong, you correct them. That's what I'm saying. To me, that's not one of those in my relationship situations, because now I'm saying whenever I meet a man and he says I'm strong, I'm like, no, I'm not. I'm resilient.
What do you think she's commenting on when she's saying the guys are saying, oh, you're so independent? What do you think the guys are commenting on? What do you think the men, the phrase you were what you saying she was saying, what do you think the guys are commenting on when they're saying, oh, you're so independent?
her business.
Oh, she was saying that the guys usually be saying she's so strong. It has to be about the way that they see her carry herself.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? The way that you carry yourself.
And her show.
Maybe that she doesn't. Maybe her show. Maybe that she doesn't take anything. Maybe that she doesn't present herself weak. You know that type of thing. It may come across as she's strong. I was just saying I just didn't. You know, I just don't think that whenever you with any group of people that you should have to change yourself just because now you with that group. You know, you're doing it for a whole group of people. Now you turn it into another person every time you come into, and that seemed like at some point you're not really being true to you.
Right.
What do you
I'm not saying you don't need no,
Okay, I was about to say, so what do you think she's saying she's resilient from then, if that's the case? Because when somebody says they're resilient from something, it usually is something they're struggling with, what they have struggled with.
But that's what I'm saying. So to me, resilient and strong are not necessarily exactly the same, but they're a little bit in the same. Yeah, so if somebody's saying to you that you're strong, you're like, well, no, I'm not. I'm resilient. You're basically saying I'm not strong all the time. I just bounce back from things that happen in my life. That's what you're saying when you're saying you're resilient. So now you're saying I don't walk around strong every day. I just bounce back well from things bad that happen to me. Why would I keep saying that shit to somebody? Why am I going to keep putting that energy into the universe that I want to keep bouncing back from things? No, I would rather attract that. I'm grateful for my strength. I'm grateful for my knowledge. I'm grateful for my independence. That's what I would rather want to attract to myself. You know what I'm saying? I would rather use the law of attraction to bring that to me instead of the fact that I have to keep bouncing back from bad things that happen to me. And that's what I'm implying when I'm saying I'm resilient.
And I think she's saying, by saying she's resilient, instead of saying she's strong or independent, whatever, she's saying the laws of attraction are not working that way. If she's saying she's independent or strong, a guy is not going to come up to her and say, hey, you know what? I think I could help you. I could be of importance to your life.
The guy
if you're so strong or independent, I'm not even going to look your way. If you're resilient, hey, okay, it seems like you're having some issues, you're having some problems.
But if you so strong and independent, that a man don't want to look your way, that's not the man for you.
There you go.
It doesn't mean that no man will look your way. It just means that man doesn't want to look your way, and that's cool because that might be weeding out the weak. He might not be his strong might not meet your strong. You know what I'm saying? Everybody's strong is different. Everybody's rock bottom is different. Everybody, it's all interpretation. It's all, you know what I'm saying, perception. So I don't have no issue with homeboy don't want to step to me because I'm too strong, because I'm too independent. Cool, you did me a favor by not stepping to me, because I'm not going to not be strong, and I'm not going to not get out here and be about my bag and stuff like that. So if you have an issue with the way I move, you trying to be in a relationship with me ain't going to work anyway, because I'm not about to break my wrist every time I get around you. I'm not about to try to be more masculine than you either, but I'm not about to just be like automatically because now I'm there. I got.
That's what it sounds like. At least from a guy's perspective, that's what it sounds like. But that's what I'm saying. Everything is perception. That's how you perceive it. I don't mean that that's my intent. But that still doesn't mean that that's my intent. You know, if you want to get the foot in the door, then if you want somebody to get the foot in the door to try to talk to you, then perception got to be fixed to get the foot.
Well, hey, but you didn't ever hear me say that ain't nobody trying to talk to me. Even with me being strong and independent, you ain't never heard me say that men ain't trying to holler at me. So I'm just saying, so I don't have a problem with people, with me being approachable, or with people being able to get their foot in the door, or any of that. You know, people that deal with me be like, oh, yo, she be about her bag. She be trying to do this. She's doing that. You know what I'm saying? It's people moving with my same energy that's going to try to step to me. Because if you don't have that, we're not going to do good anyway. Eventually you're gonna be mad because I work too much. You're gonna be mad because I'm putting this before this or this before that. So it's not gonna go well. So I don't think it's wrong. Nothing wrong with being independent, and I don't think that being independent means that you can't ask for any help. I just think that it means that you're not relying on somebody else for your every need. You can handle some of them by yourself, and I don't think that there's nothing wrong with that. I don't want nobody coming to no relationship that need my help for every single thing. and I wouldn't want to be with no man, and I wouldn't be with a man. I wouldn't want to be with a man that needs me to depend on him for every single thing. And some men do that. Some men want chicks that need you for everything. They want to be controlled and all of that. Independence is being away from being under somebody's control. Yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? So,
she never mentioned dependent one time in that whole speech. She never said.
She said she talked about she was either independent or she was interdependent. I got it. I heard what she said. I listened very well.
Right, and that's not very
well. I heard it. Yeah, but when you look at the definition of independence, it's being free of somebody's control. That's what it's about. Control. Being independent is about somebody having control over you. When you look at the definition of the word, it's about either you having to rely on somebody else for your substance or your sustenance, or either being under the control of one's authority. I don't need to be under control of nobody's authority.
That no one is the independent then. Everyone is under somebody's authority.
Let me just say one more thing,
Everyone in this damn world is interdependent if that's the case. Everyone is under somebody's authority.
We already said that a little while ago when you was like, well, you need your customers and you need this and you need that. I already said that. We know no man is an island. The whole universe as a whole.
That's not
the whole.
Not
as mankind, we need people. As mankind, collectively, we need people. We know that collectively. Don't tell me what to stop using. I can use whatever word I want to use.
No,
and I can use whatever word I want. And I can use whatever word I want. So, and I'm going to continue to use whatever word I want, because I am not going
to use independent if you don't want people to
tell me. I use whatever word I want. I don't give a damn whether they mistake it or not. That's just it. I don't care whether they mistake it or not. No, it's not a problem. It's not a problem. It's not a problem. Listen, what you eat don't make me shit. What you eat don't make me shit. So I don't give that much of a damn about what you got going on.
Yeah, but what somebody fixes you can make you shit. So that doesn't go away. What somebody fixes you can make you shit. So yeah, that can happen too.
Fixes me. You said somebody fixes me.
What food someone fixes you can make you shit. So yeah, that can go with that too. If you want to get the
but what you eat don't make me shit is what we're talking about. What you're putting in your body, what you're consuming, does not come out of.
Say, oh my God!
It's your tire, so that has nothing to do with nothing you're saying.
It has a lot to do with what I'm saying.
What you eat does not do anything with your bills. What you eat has nothing to do with your job. It has nothing to do with that. So,
Freezer, you thirsty?
Yeah, but I'm saying what you eat doesn't make me. Of course, what I eat makes me do things, but what you eat don't make me. You know what I'm saying? What you putting in your body, that's gonna come out of your body, and what I put in my body is what's gonna come out of my. Yes, it does. Yes, it does, because you try to interject your shit into what I have going on.
You going off topic now. What you
don't tell me I'm going off topic. Don't tell me I'm going off topic just because you ain't understand my analogy.
Because your analogy is not right with this.
No, you didn't understand my analogy. Don't get mad at me. Don't get upset with me because you didn't understand what I was saying. Don't get upset with me because you didn't understand what I was saying.
Don't get upset if you don't know what independence is, and then now you're trying to change.
I'm not upset at all. I'm not upset, and I know what independence is. I'm very independent, so I'm not upset. I don't have no need to be upset.
You just said everybody in the free world is not independent. Now you changing the definition. Which one is it?
I'm not changing the definition of nothing. The definition is the definition. The definition is the definition. I don't have to depend on y'all for my substance. And I do not. Yes, everybody in the world does need help. And nobody said that nobody in the world doesn't need help. Nobody was dumb enough to be like, nobody in this world needs help. I'm out here in this world and I don't need any help. Nobody said that shit. I'm trying to put no words in my mouth. That's not what I said.
Definition is the definition.
I never said that I didn't need help from anybody.
Being under control.
And just because I need somebody help don't mean that I'm in their control. Just because I need help from somebody doesn't mean I'm in their control. Don't put words in my mouth. I never said I don't need help from somebody.
That's independent.
I never said that I didn't need help from somebody.
You said that's the definition of it. You did say that.
I never said the definition was that you don't need help from somebody. I never said the definition.
You said that.
You just said that. That's what I said.
No, I said the definition.
You just said that's what you said.
No, I just said the definition of independent, which you stated earlier, being under someone's control or being autonomous or being under someone's substance. That's what's independent. I said no one is independent, meaning you have to have help from somebody that's interdependent.
And nobody said that we didn't need help from somebody. You keep trying to use the word help and sustenance
when you're not
and control.
independent.
That's not the same. You keep trying to say that like somebody doesn't.
You don't need help. You said you're independent, which means you're not getting help if you're free of control.
Just because you need help from somebody don't mean that you're under their control.
That's what independent means. That's the definition.
What are you talking about? Just because you're trying to make it seem like just because you need help from somebody that you're not independent.
Are you independent?
That's foolish. That's foolish. I know what I am.
I'm independent, but it doesn't
I'm
mean
very
sometimes I don't
independent.
need somebody's help.
So stop it.
No one's control.
I'm
independent.
I am independent, and that still
I'm
don't mean that I
independent.
don't need help from somebody at times. So you're not going to try to make me.
Are you under anyone's control? Is what I asked.
Children are controlled.
I'm not trying to do. I'm asking a question. Are you under anyone's control? Because that's independent.
But why would you want somebody to control you?
Why would hell you want to be under somebody's control?
Yeah.
I'm not saying you want to. Are you? I didn't say you are. Are you? I'm asking a question. That's not a statement. It's a question.
I am very independent.
I'm
Does
independent.
not mean that I never need help from nobody.
Because I'm in a
Okay.
relationship.
Are you under anyone's control or influence?
No, I
I
ain't.
make my own
take nothing.
decisions.
Okay.
Make my
So there's-
own decisions.
So there's no
And
such thing as
sometimes they're
laws.
good.
Okay.
There's no what?
There's no such thing as laws because you're under no control, no influence. You're just
But
that.
laws aren't.
So what? They're law, but that still doesn't mean that I have to follow that shit. There's a law that don't mean that I have to follow it. Whether I follow it or I don't follow it, I still got to deal with the consequences of that. Stop. Stop it. Stop.
No,
Are we
you're
talking
applying
about
it to something much
relationships? We
broader.
talking
You
about being in a
can't say
relationship?
that because we all adhere to the law that
The contradiction.
that is dependence. A child is dependent. There is no law.
Y'all don't have to listen.
Like,
Y'all don't have to listen either. Child can do their own thing. If that's what we're
a
going with.
child is still dependent.
Not
But a
living in
child
my house.
depends on his parents
Not
for
living in my
substance.
house.
A child is dependent on somebody for
No, they don't.
substance. It's
Child can
still
run away.
yes, they do.
Not living in
Yes,
my
they
house.
do. Come on, man. Come
You go
on.
get your food from somewhere. You don't farm for your
Alright.
food. You get your food
Okay.
from the grocery
All
store.
right. Okay. All
An
right.
adult is
The kids don't
independent
depend
because
on
an
nobody.
adult
You trying to
can
be
go out and
facetious.
find
You
their own
neither.
I got
You get your own food,
you
right?
being
You farm
facetious.
your food.
Trying to be facetious.
You make your own food. No, you don't. You go to the
But
grocery
you
store.
can. An adult
You
is
depend
independent
on
and
somebody.
free to do
Just like
that,
everyone
though.
else depends on somebody. Y'all so afraid to depend on somebody. It's ridiculous.
That they can do that. An adult has their own independence to where they don't depend on anyone to bring them
No, still
food.
got to depend on somebody. You still got to depend on somebody to get your food ready. You still got to get somebody to make a car for you, make a home for you. You depend on somebody in every walk of life. In every walk of life.
Interdependence is an economic term. It's not a relationship term. Independent and
No, it ain't.
dependent
No, it
are
ain't.
relations. Yes,
It's
it
also a
is.
relationship.
It applies to economics.
It applies to everything in life: religion, relationship, and economics.
The new economic interdependence of two nations. Let's see. Interdependence in sociology. Sociology.
You can look up all the
Well,
want.
what about if you got your
More than one definition than just
depending
one.
on
Are
nobody?
affected by their own and other actions. There are two typical of social independence: positive.
An independent thinker, not influenced or controlled by
You
others.
there?
Man's opinion.
Yup, yeah.
Ways.
I mean, what if you single?
Others goals.
Who you
What if you're
depending
single?
on?
Even if you're
Myself.
Girl, if you
Depend on
single, you should
somebody.
be bowing to every man according to how he
That's
make it
what I'm
seem.
saying. What if you
Single
single?
when
Who
you
you
get around the
depending
men.
on?
You should break your wrist then.
Depending on if you
Around every
single.
man, girl.
You should never be.
You have nobody in your
Every
life.
man you get around, just
You
break,
Break those wrists, girl.
yourself
Break
down.
those wrists.
Around
You
every
depending
man,
on
girl.
yourself.
You might have to go to urgent care, but break your wrist.
We're not
Depend on
asking the
people too.
question, what kind of man wants a super dependent woman?
No one said
What kind of man are you?
I didn't think men did. I thought men like women that are independent and
What kind
doing
of
great
man
things
are you
in life for themselves
Oh boy.
The kind of man that likes
keeping their
to
place
control.
together, keeping themselves together. I thought men like
I
that.
gotta
I
do
thought men
everything.
No,
like
we
that.
There's
don't.
some men out there that don't
Who
want no
handling
woman.
I
their
want
women
help. I
like
want
that
to be.
about
I
women
want to
like
be.
their little
I
husband.
want to be with somebody I can get help
They
with. The same way I should be able to help someone else.
But that's not what you're saying, though. Like
That's it.
that's
That's
not what
what I'm
that's
saying
not what
the
the
whole
lady
You
time.
keep
was
trying
I
to
saying.
use the
want to be able
word
She wasn't
about
Go lay
asking
that
dependent
for
and
I
help.
help
want to submit to
interchangeable.
someone I
It's
can
not
get
the
help
same.
from the same way I want her to be able to submit to get help from me. That is what I've been saying the whole entire time. I didn't say I want her to
When
be
you
super
submit to something,
dependent
that
where she
represents
can't
you
do
not being
anything.
able
That's
to
dependent.
make
I have
them
not said
submit in your
dependent
own
this
way.
whole time. I said interdependent, not dependent this whole time. I've not one time said dependent.
But
All
the
you
lady
keep
only
saying is
said
that people should be able
interdependent
to
so
ask
that
for
you
help, and
didn't have to
nobody
She
say
didn't
says
say
dependent.
dependent one time in that whole
What the lady
speech.
was saying was actually her being dependent. She said interdependence.
Being
but
weak is not the same thing
what
as
she was
or
saying
submitting
was,
is not the same thing as being dependent.
but I know it's not the same thing.
So that's it. You didn't say
The
dependent.
wrong
Did you?
word, but the lady used the wrong word. That's what I'm saying. She tried to call what she was saying interdependence, but what she was asking for was for her to be dependent while the
I don't
man
think she was
takes
asking
care
for that.
of her. She used the wrong word. She
I don't
said
think she
a
was
whole
that. I
bunch
think she was asking for interdependence too.
no, she just said she was asking for interdependence. But what she was asking was, I don't have it, so can you get it? But she actually has it because people are telling her
What
that
is
she's
it?
strong. People are telling her she's strong, so that means she has something. She got something, and
got
she
money,
said,
she
no,
can do
I
it.
don't
She
have
acting like
nothing.
she don't when she
I'm
get
not
around a man.
strong.
She probably didn't know we're
When she
interdependent
get
men either.
around a man, she
Nigga,
breaking
help
her
me.
wrist.
I'm not
So
strong.
now
Can't
you
even
got
spell it.
something, and when you get around a man, you acting like you don't have it. So now you using the man for what he got or his abilities,
That's
his
the
whatever.
county
When you get
style.
with yourself,
That's the gold
now
That's
you
standard.
what y'all call it
using the
using.
person. You know what I'm saying? You
That's
breaking
county
your
style.
wrist so that you
Well,
can.
she ain't gonna get nobody now because she done posted it.
Pretty much.
That's crazy.
She about to go lay down.
Because if that's the case, you should be responding to every female that hits y'all up talking about
She
some,
done-
I need
she done-
$40. I
she
really
posted
need
it, so like,
$80.
every man out there looking like,
They
oh,
know
really?
now.
That's what you do.
There would be
That's
more
what you
tips.
do, boo. Oh, you playing us.
There would be
You
more tips.
pretending,
if this was
you
the
know,
case,
you
guys.
pretending now.
She really gonna be independent and strong now.
Yep,
Gonna be
because every
taking her
time she
own
needs
path.
something, they gonna be like, do you really need that, or you just breaking your wrist for me?
Mm-hmm.
You putting on because I'm a
Putting on
man.
the
You breaking
front.
your wrist for me, or you really need that?
That's the man that
Right.
needs his ego stroked. That's
Right.
the man that needs his, oh, yeah, I got that for you, baby. Let me
Right.
carry that. And it's like literally just a bottle of fucking water. Not thirsty at all.
Okay. All right. Well,
I
we
like
know we've been going at
Oh,
Dr. Lamar ain't saying nothing.
No, I'm enjoying listening to y'all.
She relationship coach.
I'm enjoying listening
Exactly.
to
I didn't even think about that.
She's a rel-
She was like, I'm just gonna let
she
y'all
was,
have
no,
this
she
one.
was like, I'm
I
about
think
to
she
go
went to sleep one time.
Oh, I got it now.
Dr. Lamar said,
Probably
oh,
getting her some material
Yeah,
for a
I'm
show.
about
She could be like,
to
"Ooh, they was
say,
doing this show talking about this, and that."
Dr.
Dr.
Lamar,
Lamar
what you got to
started it
say
by
about
saying she's
this?
gonna
What
leave
you
it.
got to say?
Yeah, I said I was gonna leave, but I wasn't getting cussed out tonight.
That's what made Rand feel comfortable. It's like, you know what? Leave that shit, y'all.
I'm leaving. That was it. I ain't getting told off tonight.
Dr. Umar said it's cool. Yeah, leave that shit.
Leaving.
Leave it
But
at
you
the
know what though?
front door.
I think when she said it, I think she left room for discussion like tonight. You know what I mean? She put it out there and that was it. So I mean, it was good. It was good dialogue. I wasn't getting told off. I already had
This was good. This was great.
This was good. Yeah,
This was
what it's
awesome.
about.
Lord have mercy.
Yeah.
Well, I can't
I mean,
wait to hear what the next one about to be. Damn shit.
Oh, Lord, bring it to us.
everyone
You're
about to
put that
go
sign in the
lay
chat.
down.
I think I got a video for the next one too. This
Uh-oh.
one's a little bit longer, so this one's got a little bit more clarity to it.
Imaginistic, yes,
Here we go.
This one's about we might go the whole one. It's 5 minutes long. We might go the whole way, but let's see.
Let's take it. We need a break anyway.
Right.
Time to get your drink, refresh, all that.
Yes.
All right, y'all ready for the next video?
Yep.
Yep.
All right, here we go.
Uh-huh.
dealing with a younger person, I think that you understand like that there's some level of responsibility you have in dealing with a younger person. The younger person has less life experiences. Yep. They have, likely less education in whatever it is they're doing. They have less money. They have less opportunities, so on and so forth. So I think that you have an upper hand, and it sort of puts the younger person in a lesser position. So you're able to exert your power. You're able to exert your money, X, Y, and Z. So while both parties are at fault, let's be real. Like, you're somewhat taking advantage of the younger person. And you want to be with the younger person for a certain reason. Listen, you want to be with the younger person for a certain reason. One, because they're kind of like a blank slate. You don't want to deal with a woman your age because a woman your age has expectations. A woman your age has experience. A woman your age has money. A woman your age has autonomy. A woman your age has agency to do what they want to do, to move how they want to move, to be who they want to be. Like that's the difference. So you want somebody that's easier to deal with because they don't have all that baggage. Baggage may be life experiences. Baggage may be a career, more money, X, Y, and Z. But that is what differentiates a 22-year-old from a 32-year-old.
You know what?
32-year-old.
Easily impressed.
You know what? You know what? The worst thing about what I'm hearing, to be honest, in my opinion, is that what what I'm hearing is stop, Jada. So what I'm hearing is like we have to blame somebody. See, and this is the thing. I work in reality. I don't work with fantasy.
Are you saying that I don't work in reality?
I'm saying that wasn't realistic because creeps are going to exist no matter what. And they've always been existing. We've been having lesson after lesson of what not to go for, what creeps look like. And typically creeps are 40-year-old people fiending on a 22-year-old girl.
Sorry for you 40-year-old guys. I guess y'all are all creeps.
Yo, realistically, no. And the crazy thing is, this is not new. I've been saying this since high school. When I was a freshman, and
you don't get married, is that who you're gonna become?
Can I go?
No.
Like, damn. If I've been saying this since I was a freshman in high school. It's like, yo, there was a girl, right? And she was my age, 14. And she's dating a dude that's 19. I'm like, you don't find that weird? He's 19 years old. Granted, he's in college and he's doing his thing. I'm like, yo, you know that there's other girls your age that
teen.
Right.
If there is no lesser connection,
I did not.
There is no lesser connection. 14, 19, y'all is teenagers.
No, you're not. First of all, that was a nice try. Let me finish.
No,
so like,
that's dumb.
so yo, you're 14. You're 14 and you're in high school. And he's 19 in college playing basketball.
You be 19 in high school.
Really stop. No. I didn't interrupt you. You really think that you're that special? You really think that you're that different? No, you're a fool. So if you're 21 years old, you have nothing. You have to understand, you have nothing. And this person is 40, 38, whatever the case.
This person wants a tighter vagina. This person wants to take advantage of someone. This person wants to control someone. This person wants to have whatever this person can offer them. They don't give a about that person for the most part. You don't give a about my well-being in my future life. You want to basically a ride or die. And that is fucked
You're not a ride or die at 22.
Yes, you are.
You're a
I was ever willing to ride a car when he had a gun and pregame and drink Henny and do whatever the he wanted me to do and get in trouble and fight a bitch and turn up. Yeah, that was the age I was going to do that.
I'm listening to a bunch of excuses for mistakes.
Because I'm at a point in my life where I have no experience. I don't know what's right from wrong for the most part. I'm going to follow the lead of a man because that is what we think that we're supposed to do. And then I'm going to be madly into you if you show me that you know more than I know. I believe
that women that fall victim to older men at a younger age are typically women without smart women around them, without good parenting around them, because no mother is going to allow a 40-year-old to date their 21-year-old daughter.
First of all, we don't ask permission, and I'm saying this from experience because I was someone that was young, and I loved to date older men. Not now, not anymore. I don't. Listen, y'all damaged. I'm good. But when I was younger, I liked that my man older than me. And do you think I asked my parents' permission? I don't have daddy issues. My parents are married. I don't have daddy issues. I don't have issues where I need older men as an example in my life. But I was attracted because they were a little more mature than the guys my age. Because technically, you guys don't really grow up.
What is mature?
If we both 19, you're really 13 to me.
Now watch this. Watch this. Watch this. Wait,
like,
Aisha.
Mom, can I date this 40-year-old? No, we just date him and that's it.
Okay.
All right.
Wow.
All right. So
Interesting.
Medicated or medicated. All right. So to leave it or medicated, leave it if you agree with those ladies with why men. I don't think that's most men, but for the men who do, the men who do date younger women, do you agree with their reasons, that the females' reasons?
Absolutely. Oh.
And medicated if you disagree, and then tell us why. All right, so we will start with LT first. Tell us what you think about it. Do you want to leave it or medicate?
What you doing?
Medicate the fuck out of every goddamn thing.
All right, medicate it. Go ahead.
Are you ready? Go!
That was gross and disgusting the way they were justifying what they are willing to admit is weird to them now. Because if you're willing to sit there and say that you've grown up and you no longer date older men, why are older men no longer attracted to you? Why is that no longer a thing? Why is that no longer a thing that you're doing? Because again, you're not going to be as accepting of it when your daughter comes home with a man that should be dating you. We constantly make excuses for why, and for men that are dating younger women, we constantly make excuses for why men are doing this shit. That's gross too. Because yes, I agree with the women on that one. You're doing it because you feel like this woman knows less than you, has less than you, and you can control them. And if you're not confident in yourself sexually, you go and get a younger woman because you think that she hasn't been with much people. That's why so many dudes are with a body count. It's sick. It's a sign of insecurity on both sides.
Okay. All right. Let's see, Sparky, you there? Okay.
I'm here.
You got your drink?
I got it.
What you got?
I'm just drinking sweet tea right now. You know, I'm about to go to work, so I don't want to go to work too late.
Oh, before you go, I gotta say, hey, I don't like what your team did the other week.
Man, I was like, listen, if we lost to anybody, at least it was to. Yeah, I was about to say. If we lost to anybody, I was glad that we at least lost to Philly. I was so glad that we didn't lose to Dallas. Didn't lose to Dallas or whatever. Now I hope that man, we gonna have to definitely get another quarterback with what we got going on. But I hope that Philly don't get there and choke now. At least you didn't beat us. You better go ahead and beat them. I'm so happy that it's two black quarterbacks in there, though.
That's nice. I'm going for Kansas City.
You going for Kansas City?
Okay.
I'm going for Philly. They at least beat us. I want y'all to take it all the way. Don't beat us and then get in there and lose.
Right. That kind of hurts worse, right?
Yeah, that hurt bad when that happened. It'd be like y'all could have just let us win shit. So
all right, I didn't mean to get you off the topic there.
Oh, that's okay. That's okay.
What do you want to do? Do you want to leave it? You agree with the young ladies, what they said about why men date younger women?
I'm gonna leave it.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
I'm gonna leave it because I do believe that a lot of times, and I'm gonna say a lot because I know it's not all situations, but I think a lot of times men go for younger women because they're going to be able to control them, or they feel like they're going to be able to control them. And they control them a lot of times because of the lack of experience. You know, it may not be that the girl is dumb or any of that. She may not have another relationship to compare it to. So when he's doing some flick shit, or he's doing something that's too far to the left or to the right, she don't really know. You know, she ain't been in it enough to be like, oh, this is a red flag, or that's a red flag. Her red flag meter and stuff like that isn't, you know what I'm saying? She hasn't used it enough yet. And I feel like that allows the men to control them, to manipulate them in a lot of cases. And I also think that sometimes they just want tighter vaginas. I think it's about that too. And I think that they think it's a status symbol. They get the status symbol. You know what I'm saying? They got the, a younger chick on their arm. You know what I'm saying? I think that they think, like when you got a newer car, you got a newer model car, you got a newer model chick. I think it's some of that.
Okay. All right. Let's see. Dr. Lamar, you there?
Yeah, I'm going to meditate it. And the reason why is for two or three reasons.
All right, go ahead.
I got 60 seconds. I dated older men, and let me tell you, that was, God damn it. Oh, sorry, y'all.
I'm sorry.
Wait, hold on. Start me over. Somebody almost hit me in the back.
It's one of those younger guys, probably.
Yeah, like, wait. I can't knock the younger ones, but okay. So I dated older men, right?
Go ahead.
Okay, I dated older men, but I'm not gonna say I really had daddy issues. I told you I couldn't get rid of them, right? But I liked older guys, and at the same time, I have to say that was the best relationships I had because I did learn a lot. But at the same time, it wasn't that they had more experience. Well, no, put it this way, had more money and all that. But we had different experiences. And we still cool. We just had different experiences, but you got younger people who got it going on too. I mean, you really do. You got younger people who got their own bag, especially now with all these influencers. You got younger people who have experience too. So I think it just depends on the situation.
Okay. All right.
I don't want nobody young, but I don't want nobody old because old men give you worms.
Oh my God,
They've been
man!
saying that forever. That old man give you worms.
They have.
Jesus.
That had to happen to somebody in some form of capacity, and that they just ran with it for the rest of the next generations. All right. Giggles.
That's crazy.
I'm gonna leave it.
You gonna leave it? Okay. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go.
Because I was listening to what Sparky was saying, and I do agree with her a little bit. I feel like some older men, they get with younger females because it's like they want somebody they can mold into who they want them to be. It could be, they could bring out the excitement in them, or some even they feel like the younger females don't want too much of a commitment, so when they had their fun they could go. You know what I mean? But I just feel like that's the reason why a lot of older men date younger women. They like to have, maybe it brings out the, they make them have fun, they make them feel young, and they could teach them things or things like that.
We only teach them.
So that's all I gotta say.
Okay. All right. Preezy, what do you want to do? You want to leave it or medicate it?
Leave it.
Okay. Tell us why.
Are you ready? Go.
I agree with Sparky and Giggles. And I don't know if Dr. Lamar said leave it.
No, she's medicated.
Well, I can't agree with her. Because these older men, they do want these younger women. It makes them feel good. They're young. And they don't realize they got to, spend on them too. Because them little young girls, they want this and that, blah, blah, blah. But it could be sexually too. And they don't like the older women because the older women are not going to just probably let you do whatever you want to do. And I'm not saying there's no women out there that do that, that don't do that, that are older. But when they're young girls, they can mold them. Like Giggles said, they can mold them and throw a little money to them, and they'll do anything. Because these young girls, that's what they want. They want money. They want the bags, the shoes. So if that's all he got to do to make her do whatever he say, that's what they want.
Easy.
It's easy.
Okay. All right. Well, I'm going to be with Dr. Lamar and LT on this one. I'm medicated, but kind of for a different reason.
Are you ready? Go.
All the things that they're saying in a negative way, I think are actually in the positive way for most guys. Because if you are dealing with a younger woman versus an older woman, typically what happens with a younger woman, she goes through life like everyone does, and she brings baggage on to the next relationship or marriage. There is a reason why when you get married more times, the rate of you staying together decreases by a lot. Most people think, well, if I learn from my previous marriages, so I know all the mistakes not to make, that means by the third, fourth, fifth marriage, whatever, I know what to do. That's not the case. It goes from like 50%, 60 something percent, and 80%. The rate of divorce increases each time you get married because you hold on to other things that you had in the past. You could say you learn from it, but typically it doesn't last long. And you can mold a younger woman, I guess, in your mold. You could probably say that's a negative thing. And I'm sure there are guys that do that on purpose and they don't have no intention to have a relationship. Yeah, there are guys like that.
There are women like that. We call them.
They want a puppy.
But and you could say that, but typically they don't have to deal with the experiences that they've had before that made them sour towards guys with older women. You can say the same thing with men, whatever. But that's human nature. You're going to learn from your mistakes, or you're going to keep whatever happened in the past up here, unless you get something like therapy to get it fixed. And you're going to transfer it on to your next relationship, or something that happened in your childhood. You're going to bring it into your next relationship. That's just human nature. And
I do want to say that I think a man should be a little older than a woman, but never by like.
Yeah, let's give an age range. What age range would you say, LT?
It's like 3 to 5 years.
Okay, I was going to say a little bit more, but okay.
I mean that's comfortable for me. You know what I'm saying? When I was in high school, I kept it in a 3-year age gap, because especially if I'm like, what I did like when she said it, or when dude said he was 14, his girlfriend was 14, she was dating a 19-year-old guy. Like that's a freshman in high school, and like everything ain't black and white. There's gray areas. Like I don't like how she just said teen and teen makes it okay, because it doesn't. That's that 19-year-old probably done been, but then again, who knows? That 14-year-old probably done been some places. It is weird out there. I remember, I lost mine at 14. That's a little bit about me. But to a 14-year-old though, same age. But I think 3 to 5 years is a good age range, because it does feel a little predatory when it's a decade of an age gap, 15 years, 20 years, because it would lead me to like I'm 30 right now. If a 50-year-old woman approached me and was seriously pursuing me, like it's gonna make me look at myself and act like, because you should do this with any time a person is approaching you. Why is this person approaching me? What is it about me that attracts me? Is it, is it my magnetism? Is it my charisma? Is it the way I speak? Is it the way I carry myself? Is it the way I dress? What is it? Sometimes is it my stature? You know what I'm saying? Is it my my notoriety? What do they know about me? Have you seen my name before? Am I, William Dent, Sweetelson, and something? I've been watching Girlfriends, and it's really, man. That nigga was, William Dent, all of them came up on some real shit. Maya went from being a single mother to being an author. Lynn went from having no direction to having a documentary about sex in LA. That
was a good show.
It was amazing. I can't wait to get back to it. But
and that was a show about a bunch of independent women that still got help from each other. They were independent women. It was still fictional, but they were still a show about independent women that relied on each other and got help from each other, but they were still all independent. Yes, they were. Yes, they were. They were all independent. They were all independent in their own right.
We're not going down this road.
Yes, they were. They were all independent in their own right.
Luke said not again.
Yeah. My girl.
Living single was good too now.
It's an independent, but you got your girls. Yes.
No.
You see what he started? Now he dancing.
Move on. We talk about a different subject.
That's all I really wanted to do. I just wanted to get
this subject out, please. We're moving on.
Living single things.
I'm sorry, I took us back there. It was a good opening though when he said something about watching Girlfriends.
Back to the subject. What was the subject?
Okay, now we're talking about older men and younger women. So I do agree, like we had said, that they can mold them and stuff. I don't think that it's always bad. I don't think that it's always bad when older men are with younger women. I think that what they were talking about with that what was that, 14 and 19 is too much. And that just because they teens, it make it okay. Somebody could be 13 and somebody could be 19. That's too much of a damn difference. That's rape. It's statutory rape. It's illegal. That's too much now. You know, so I think we got to keep it.
Because the age of consent, regardless of fuck, is 16. Regardless if you care about that law or observe it, it's anything below that, you're on to catch a predator.
Right.
Right.
Well, let me ask you ladies this. Okay. She mentioned something about the Hispanic woman. She mentioned something about how men, well, I think she did say men don't mature, but men mature later than women. Do you agree with that?
Yes, that's actually what I was alluding to when I said I feel like a man should be a little bit older than a woman.
Isn't that a true fact?
Yeah, scientifically, women mature earlier than men. 2 years, like mentally and emotionally, women develop a lot quicker than men. So I do believe in order for a man to be mentally and emotionally appropriately available to a woman, he should be maybe a little bit older than her, so that he can catch up to where a woman naturally is throughout the course of her life.
What would you say?
Well, when they get older, they ain't gonna be all that compatible sexually though, because she gonna peak at about 40 and he gonna have already peaked out at younger.
That's why you need to keep the age ranges a little closer, I feel like, so that it's still receptive to information, so that, you know, once you meet that woman that actually makes you want to turn your shit around and get your shit together, you're eating better, you're sleeping better, you're exercising, you're taking care of your body. And guess what, fellas? When you take care of your body in a health sense, your dick works for longer. Like when you drink more water and eat vegetables and shit, like you can, you know, you have more stamina for sex. And you know what I'm saying? You can push that into your 30s, into your 40s. And we usually only start really giving a fuck about our health when a woman comes into our lives and makes us give a fuck. Because other than that, you're sitting around with a bunch of niggas. Are you cooking for your homeboys? Are your homeboys cooking for you? No, you're going out and you're grabbing a bite to eat. You're probably getting some wings at a fucking strip club. You're disgusting. You disgust me.
What do you got? What is the limit of vastness of age range? You guys, let's say let's carry everybody back to let's say 24. What would be the biggest age range that you would date a guy? Going up, that is.
No more than 5 or 6 years.
About to say 5, 6 years probably. Because at that time, it depends, I think, too, like you were saying, in the 24, 5 or 6 years, because, you know, depending on times of your life, as you get older, you might can make the gap might can widen a little bit because both of y'all have a little bit settled, you know, but when you're younger, it seems like it makes a bigger difference when the gap is too big because you like it different decades.
Yeah, the age
like you
I
got
am
somebody
now, 5
that
or 6
can't
years.
drink, somebody that can't drink, and somebody that can drink. You know, when you start getting in, you know, different things, you're not even on the same thing at the same time.
No,
just really like what somebody was saying, when somebody goes to talk to them, it make you wonder why. Like if you got somebody 60 trying to talk to you and you 20 something, it's like what do y'all have in common?
Right, nothing.
What y'all gonna talk about?
Age matters. I don't care what nobody say. Age matters.
Oh, it absolutely does.
I think so.
Matters a lot.
Age is a lot. Numbers mean a lot. Like fuck what R. Kelly was talking about when he said age is nothing but a number. Numbers should not be trivialized. Numbers are sacred.
Yeah, those numbers put him in prison.
Right.
Wait, Aaliyah said that, didn't she? That was Aaliyah's song, wasn't it?
Because he wrote it.
He wrote it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true.
Behind all that.
He wrote for B2K as well. I just found that out not too long ago.
So
yeah, that's true too. But
them too, yeah. It was all up in bad rap.
look at Jay-Z was going with Foxy Brown when she was 14.
Allegedly, yeah, that's what I heard.
Well, she the one wrote a song about it and said it.
I don't know. So what do you think about why would a woman date somebody considerably younger? Let's say Cher. Cher, I think is like what, 70 something? I think
making her feel young.
Yeah,
so he could be the maintenance man.
I would say for women, it specifically ties to wanting to
But
maintain.
she said if she could turn back time.
So he can be the maintenance man. She going with somebody that young so that she can make sure he hitting them walls. That's all that's about. She is trying to make sure he is hitting.
Walls is on the size of a bed right now.
Jericho won.
We don't really call them midlife crisis. We don't call it a midlife crisis when women do it. It's kind of just a reawakening, them rebranding themselves.
She get her groove back. That's Stella get her groove back.
There you go. Stella had to get her groove back.
You would never say Stella just grew back at 50 trying to get
it. Was out here fucking was like, oh shit, go to me. I see where your car is.
But look at Tina Turner and her husband Bobby. They like 20 years
Jessica
apart.
Biel, dating Justin Timberlake, little young ass. Jessica Biel was like, or she like 10 years. Justin Timberlake always dating an old ass woman, not an old ass woman. But
Leonardo DiCaprio. That's
I'm about to say 10 years ain't no old ass woman.
I don't think so.
I was like, not an older,
I tell you what,
older ass woman.
Yeah, me and my stepsister, we were both disgusted. We were disgusted because in my like early 20s, I was dating a guy. He was like 45, and my stepsister now, she got somebody. He like 80. We laugh. Oh man,
somebody called Jerry Springer.
He's still with us.
Yeah, like he older than my mother. My mother is 65.
Oh my! That's different.
But the funny part about it is, so my parents from the South, right? And this guy is like a full Indian, like Indian reservation.
That's a real one.
Oh,
yeah, with the braids and everything. Yeah.
Damn.
She said he was Pocahontas' granddaddy.
Yeah.
Oh, come on now.
You was trying to poke Johannes.
Yeah, it's funny because they about to come. They're gonna come in a couple of months. Oh, I'm gonna have to tell y'all exactly how it's gonna be because we clowning them already. Because we like, because you know I just said, oh, men give you worms, but we like. She like, oh, I want to go out. That man sleep at like 7, 8 o'clock. Are you kidding me? He already had a little heart stare.
He ain't going nowhere.
That's with the people in the nursing home. Damn.
You probably sitting in the nursing home listening to this shit. She got a lot to motherfucking say. Where my teeth?
Yeah. She be cussing him out. He don't even know what the hell she's saying. Yeah. But see, it's weird because it's not about the money. She been in her job for about 26 years. She got her own house. Her daughter, grown. I'm still trying to figure it out, but I had an older one, but I had to let him go after a couple of months. I didn't need his money or anything because he started smelling weird. You know what I mean?
Wow.
Like he wasn't washing good.
Like blue ointment stuff.
No,
we're not doing this.
No, it wasn't no ointment. Like he wasn't washing good.
Oh God!
He smell like Big Gay.
No,
he might have been having incontinence problems.
I see
he was
how
having probably incontinence issues.
No, like in the summertime, it was summertime, right? And you know, like you sit with your legs open, and the gnats ran like, wait, yo, what the gnats ran you for like that? What smelling good?
You need to go to the hospital. His prostate is rotten. You know?
Oh my God!
She said, you might have the cancer on him.
His prostate is rotten.
Ew.
That's nasty.
Pampers had to be changed.
All right, let's change. Yeah, let's go. Let's go. Yeah. It's about to get real uncomfortable with the next story.
I read the headline.
Let's see. Let me find where I got this story at. Okay. Anybody got a membership at the Y in the YMCA?
Nope.
Nope.
Yes.
They don't allow me there because when I tried to have a conversation about what Christian and athletics have to do with each other, I was asked not to return.
What?
Jeez.
You know you can't be in the Y talking about nothing against Christianity.
You know what? It's weird because there's so much gayness. That's what's weird about it. There's so much gayness in the YMCA. Not even because of the village people, but there's so much. It's just like the Catholic Church. There's so much gayness that happens at the YMCA.
I'm sorry. You got to explain that. Like, how did you get into a conversation like that at the Y?
Just come in, scan his card.
Literally just because again, and when you're in these uncomfortable positions, or not uncomfortable positions we've been conditioned.
Yeah, you might not want to say that.
High school.
Yeah, that wasn't a good word.
Yeah, well, yeah. When you go into the gym in high school, you're forced to change around people anyway. So when you go to the gym on base or at any place and you're changing out of your work clothes or whatever the hell you have on into your gym clothes, people see you as you're getting out of your clothes. Whereas, if the bathroom stalls are full, you could go in there and change like that. But either way, you're going to have to be in close quarters in either just a shirt, some shorts, or a towel if you're going into the showers, which I never use because I just don't like public showers. I barely use public bathrooms. I will literally rush the fuck home just to sit down on the toilet because I can't do it. Can't do it. My cheeks can't hit every seat. But yeah, they'll.
Oh God!
In the name of the Lord, they will approach. Bless you. In the name of the Lord, they will approach you as if it was to proposition you to sleep with Jesus himself.
At the Y?
At the Y.
That's weird.
It's very weird. It's very weird.
Mm-mm.
Like,
I don't think that's at all wise.
Yeah, I think that's a bathhouse you went to.
Yeah. Obviously not at all YMCAs, but just the undertone, because there's so much suppression of sexuality, it comes out in like microaggressions. Like it just starts with little compliments. You know what I'm saying? Oh, you got really nice calves, bro. And I'm like, thank you, because I do.
You got groomed at a YMCA? Is that what you're saying?
I was almost groomed at a YMCA. That's when I got a true. That's when I got a. What is the fuck? Damn.
Enlightenment?
No, not enlightenment. The Planet Fitness membership. Excuse me.
Big Red, can you put that as a topic for next time? Because I need to hear all of this. How this go down?
All right.
I need to know.
Let's go with this other story at YMCA then. All right. So, yeah, this is a leave it or medicated on this one. So, the story came up February 2nd. A transgender woman is charged with indecent exposure at an Ohio YMCA incident. The transgender woman has been charged with indecent exposure after allegedly stripping naked in front of women and girls at Ohio YMCA. Rachel Glines, if I'm saying that right, 31, whose legal first name is Darren, was charged with 3 counts of indecent exposure in connection with at least 3 incidents at the Xenia Y dating back to 2021 and 2022. Damn. Women reportedly seeing a naked male in the female's locker room, including when 3 underage girls were present, according to the outlet, which cited court records. A woman who was at the Y with her 2 daughters, a 13-year-old and a 16-year-old, said she was upset and shaken when she saw a completely naked man who was facing away from his locker and completely exposed to the rest of the locker area. She asked him if he was a woman, to which the man replied that he was, according to the police report. The woman claimed the director of the Y told her men could not be kept out of the women's locker room. Xenia City Council President Williams Urschel recently addressed the incidents during a discussion at a Greene County Tea Party meeting. So she went to the front desk and said, "Hey, I don't know if you know what's going on, but there's a naked man in there." She was informed, "No, this is actually a woman and that you shouldn't be disturbed by this." The city rep told that Urschel's comments were his own and were not authorized by or on behalf of the rest of the city council, the mayor, the city manager, or the law director. Let's see. Neither Xenia City Council nor any member of the council had any part in the decision to file public indecency charges regarding the use of the YMCA's locker rooms. The decision to file charges were based on the facts presented by the law department, by the Xenia Police Division, and the language of state statute. Let's see.
What the hell is going on in Ohio?
It let it be known that under no circumstances will we investigate individuals' birth, gender, identity, and then assign individuals to locker rooms. That would be counter to the law, counter to respect for all people. It is not who we are as an organization. So, leave it or medicated. Leave it if you think they were right in arresting the trans lady. going in the women's locker room, or medicated you if you think they were wrong, and what should they have done instead of arresting her?
Her, him. Okay.
So yeah, Freezy, you there?
Yes.
Okay, I'll let you go first on this one. Do you want to leave it or medicate
Leave it if I agree, you said?
Yeah, leave it. If you agree with how the story went, they arrested the trans lady for going into the women's locker room, start naked, or medicated if you disagree and what should have been done instead.
I'm gonna meditate it. Medicated, I'm sorry.
All right, go ahead.
Are you ready? Go!
I don't think that the person should have been arrested. They should just escorted him and his Wally Walker out the locker room. Just get out of here. You know, get out of here. You got your penis all out. You know, you didn't do the full transformation. You got women in here. You got young girls in here. You should know better than that. You know, and as far as I'm concerned, if you still got your Wally Walker,
yeah, you
should be going to the men's locker room, okay? Because you didn't fully do the operation, okay? You're addressing yourself as a woman, but you still have a penis, and so I don't think you should have been naked, you know, because I went somewhere. There was a play I went to, and there were two men, and you knew they were dressed as women, but they used the women's bathroom, but they had doors. It was doors. It wasn't like it was open. Nobody saw them, but you could tell that they were men. But to go into a locker room and you have a penis with young girls or women in there, no, that was disrespectful. To be arrested, no. To be escorted out, yes.
Okay. All right. Giggles, I'll let you go next. Do you want to leave it or medicate it?
I am going to wait before I answer. Did you say something about this that's been happening since, like you said, 2021 or something like that?
Yeah, there were 2 charges in, I think, 2020. Let me find it again, make sure I say it right. 2021. Let's see. Darren was charged with 3 counts of indecent exposure in connection with at least 3 incidents at the Xenia Y.
Okay, thank you.
Dating back to 2021 and 2022.
Okay, so yeah, I'm gonna leave it.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready?
Well, I know that kind of.
Yeah, well, they should have been arrested because if this happened before, like, there needs to be consequences. And of course, it's not all their fault. I'm gonna say their fault because it's a man and a woman. Okay, listen, they ain't have the surgery. Don't matter. It's a man. You should not be allowed to go in the female locker room, period. There's little girls, there's women, people are uncomfortable. You're a man, regardless of what you want to identify as. That's what you were born as. That's period. And they need to change their policy.
Yeah.
But yes, I agree with them being arrested. Absolutely. And they should not be able to return.
Right.
Go somewhere else. Oh, and I'm done.
Okay. Sparky, what do you want to do? You want to leave it or medicate it?
Ooh, I'm a medicator.
Okay, tell us why.
Are you ready? Go!
Okay, I don't think that the person should have been arrested. That's my only issue with it. I don't think that the man should have necessarily, or I don't think that they should have necessarily been in the locker room or whatever. But I also think that they're in a tight space or in a rough position, because if they don't identify as a man, they ain't gonna want to be in the locker room with a whole bunch of men naked. That's not where they're at, you know. So I think that some of it in the day and age that we're at, they either should. A lot of places have a unisex bathroom, or there's a family bathroom. Which anybody can use it at that point, because, you know, it became a big issue in Charlotte. That's how we lost the IAA, because when they changed the laws here in the city of Charlotte that the transgenders could use the bathrooms with the little girls or whatever, that's what made them take CIAA away. And when I was in school, we had a gender person in class with us, and it became an issue because I was in culinary school, so we used to go and change clothes. Granted, we didn't strip down, but still it was an issue because his name was Charles, but he identified as Charisse or Charlize, and wanted to come in the locker room with us, and a lot of women put up a big fuss, so he had to go get dressed somewhere else. But so I don't think that they should have arrested him, even though it's happened before. Because, and I say that because if it's happened before, the Y is also aware of the situation. And so they should have provided an alternative so that he didn't have to go into that locker room. So some of that falls on the Y, because not giving him a place to change is also taking his rights away, his or her rights away, however they identify. And everybody should, be comfortable. But I don't think they should have had their tallywhacker out there with them little kids.
Yeah.
No.
Are you over here singing? That's nasty.
Yeah, like why not go in the stall? Maybe all the stalls were full, and you should have waited. You should have had at least enough respect to go in the stall, because the Y had stalls inside there.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Dr. Lamar, I'll let you go next. You want to leave it or medicate it?
I knew a girl by name.
I'm medicating it. But so we had two employees like that, right? And but
go ahead.
The two yeah, okay, yeah. So the Y should have, I'm sure there's different Y. So with all the Ys, they should have had a policy. When that started coming up, they should have had policy about that, right? And then with the policy, then they would have known how to proceed. Now with my coworkers, they sent the email around to everyone explaining that the person changed their name. Now I didn't know this. I don't know if it's just for our company or if it's just worldwide. I don't know, because them people cancel you. But as long as they change their name and their gender on a new birth certificate, whether they change all of their parts or not, they are now officially a female. So because of that, they can sue for discrimination. So, but you're right, they shouldn't have been out with kids and like that around. But I'll be afraid, forget not just the kids, but rape, because we've heard of rape that's been going on too. So that's just what I had to say.
Okay. Let's see. LT, did you already go?
Nah.
Okay.
Man, this is a weird one. Shit.
I didn't even know you could walk around in the Y naked. I'm sorry.
Yeah, like you have to go out of your way to be naked.
In a locker room?
So it's like I
Was he in a locker room?
You can walk around naked in the locker room? Like, really?
Yeah.
Bucket naked.
And them be the ones that don't be having good shapes either. I'm sorry.
Oh my God.
Yeah, I guess I'm gonna leave it too. I'm gonna leave it.
Okay.
Are you ready? Go.
The only reason I would require, or the only reason I'm okay with this person being arrested, is because it's been multiple offenses. So I would have to ask, like, what's on this person's hard drive? We got to take a look into this person, because it seems like they're getting off on this kind of thing. Because why is everybody called the dick a different thing? I'm gonna call it why you got your little pinochle? You know what I'm saying? Why you got your little pinochle in the ladies' locker room? You have to practice decorum and modesty, because even as a male, I'm not just gonna, even as a male in the male locker room, for the sake of the other men in there, I'm not just gonna have myself exposed. You might not want to see all of this out. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's just common decorum. So the fact that it's just out on display, and there's been multiple occasions, and I do agree the Y should have done something about this. So I feel like it's a site, like they fucked up too. Remember, like, if we could reference that story I was telling her, the Y is sick. They're sick. Some of them. But yeah, there's when there's church involved, there's sickness involved. It's wild.
Shoot, I was gonna leave it, but damn, till Sparky spoke, I was gonna leave it, but she kind of changed my mind while she was speaking. I kind of agree with the leave it's, but what Sparky said, I have to medicate it.
Are you ready?
I'm a medicate it because, like she said, what was the rules that were presented there. The why they're saying if she presents herself as a woman, she can go in the bathroom freely. Now, I don't agree she should. I don't think anybody with a penis is going in the women's bathroom should not be able to be allowed in there. And then plus, like I said, like we've said, he got arrested a couple other times for indecent exposure, but this is what we get for being too accepting. When we try to accept everybody, then you got to follow the rules. You can't be mad at nobody but yourself. If you let these laws pass, this is what you're going to get. So, no, I don't think he should have got arrested. And I was going to leave it, but then when Sparky said...
I said medicated.
Well, she said medicated too, but I'm talking about for Sparky's reasons, because there was no law that said she couldn't be in there, or he couldn't be in there. I gotta medicate it.
That's what I said. There was no policy. Should have been a policy when all them LGBT things.
That's the only reason. I don't agree with it, but there ain't no law. What are you gonna do? It's immoral, I guess, but it's not illegal.
Right, but you know what though? Honestly, I think a lot of these companies, like with our company, you're talking about Pfizer, right? With our company, they didn't really know what to do because they didn't want to go into lawsuits and stuff. So they had to call outside counsel. Outside counsel is expensive for these companies. So it's probably not that they didn't do anything immediately. They probably just didn't know how to proceed. Because, if you get one of them letters wrong, forget it. They be trying to sue you.
All right.
Like, did y'all know the Q stood for questionable? I didn't know that. I thought it stood for queer. Somebody was trying to cancel me. I said, she should be practicing.
I ain't heard that.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought it was queer.
I thought it was too. And they started coming after me. I said, no, you'll just be practicing.
And like Sparky said earlier, we lost the CIAA and we lost the All-Star game until they changed those rules here in North Carolina. So money talks, and it made the bullshit walk. So what can you say? If you don't push back on it, then you're gonna have to deal with the consequences.
But think about it. They've been trying to cancel Beyonce.
Oh, they never canceled Beyonce. Beyonce got too many of those fans. They ain't going away.
Yeah, that is. Beyonce has a lot of the alphabets as fans.
But they were mad at her because when she went to Dubai,
she
didn't sing one of the songs that acknowledged them. So
get over it.
Yeah, but in Dubai, because I was about to say, but because she was in that,
they don't play that out there.
They might not agree with that.
Right.
Yeah.
And you give me
paid her
24
extra
million?
money. There you go. I'll say whatever
you won't be playing that song.
I'll sing the ABCs backwards. You tripping?
Right. They paid her like $24 million, I think.
24
million.
Yeah. They don't play that out there.
Not play that song.
Yeah. Hell, the fans about to pay that much to go to her next concert.
Yeah, those prices are nuts.
Yeah,
I saw a ticket for like $9,000.
Dropping Elixir, right?
Like
gold.
I saw a ticket for like $9,000 and change.
Yeah.
Well,
what you gonna be on stage with her?
Like, I was like, no. Ridiculous.
Is she gonna perform the Proud Family theme song with Solange?
I'm telling you, right?
Oh no.
I'll pay for that.
That's okay. I'm a fan, but
I ain't that much of a fan.
Concert as well. And this Miss Tina gonna be there. She looks nice.
Yeah, she looks nice, but Tina look nice, but she need to be quiet because every time she opens her mouth, she always talks down about her husband. Now she need to be quiet.
She's saying some wild shit.
She do.
Yeah, she is a little tough on him. I saw something one time. She's a little tough on him.
Tough on the current husband?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, I ain't no shit.
She got remarried.
Yeah.
Like that man was already together. Tina, he looked at her like, you need to shut up. I'm about to cuss you out, but we on TV.
I'm looking so crazy right now.
She probably cried in the car or something.
She said
she
got me looking so crazy right now.
But you know what though? That's what he probably love about her.
Yeah.
She from Texas and Louisiana. She crazy.
Dag.
Make them out there.
Yeah, she trio.
All right.
Man,
right.
would you shut the hell up? What are you talking about?
What?
Okay.
All right, let's go to the last segment.
Somebody told my daughter she can sing. She be cracking me up.
Let's go to the deepest thought. No comment needs to be made on this. Just let it marinate. This next clip.
For shizzle.
lot of water.
Suits with the pimped out Gucci suits. Ain't got no job, but I specialize. Got everything
That's
in
teamwork.
my mama nader boots.
I was trying not to do it, but I mean, it's a really good song.
All right, that is the end of our show tonight. I'd like to thank everybody for joining us on Hostile Therapy with Big Red, with LT, Lord Trent, Preezy, Sparky at work, working diligently. Giggles, she's still there. Okay. Giggles.
Yep.
Right.
From the show, Preezy and Giggles from the show. Listen up, listen in.
Yes.
And Dr. Lamar, y'all didn't get to hear earlier, but we're going to set up a GoFundMe. Not GoFundMe, but a GoFundMe or Go Find Me. We'll say that. We'll go find me for Dr. Lamar. We're going to try to find her a date that.
Oh my God.
We're going to have a dating episode, like a dating game episode on Valentine's. When is Valentine's Day? We're going to do that for that
Wednesday.
show. Before that.
Yeah, but let's not do it on Valentine's Day because you know they always give you them little beds on the wicker chairs, and that balloon don't never inflate. You be having 5-10 years, and the plastic be dusty. I don't want that.
We're gonna play chat roulette. We're gonna have different people come on, and we're gonna screen them. It's gonna be like American Idol, but the prize is you go on a date with Dr. Lamar.
Right.
Oh my God. I gotta have snacks for this.
I can't wait.
I got my snacks already.
Yeah, because I didn't tell y'all about the one who's 70 years old with paying child support.
Good night.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all for coming on tonight. Get some hostile therapy, not because you want it, but because you need it. We'll see y'all next Thursday. Y'all have a good night. Peace.
Have a good night.
Later.
Good night.